petition to bring back Wesley. That's where I'm at.
I will sign the petition to not do that. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I love you, though.
Clearly not enough. You've just broken my heart.
I'm so sorry.
I hope that Cecil ruins everything next season. We're about to review the first 2 episodes of Daredevil Born Again. We were lucky enough, thank you to Disney for inviting us out to the premiere in New York City. You got this whole experience. It was so cool. You did some kind of parkour stunt training that you'll talk about on the Patreon. Yeah. Obviously, you did a bunch of stuff. You got to do a Q&A with both Vincent D'Onofrio and Charlie Cox, Wilson Fisk and Matt Murdock. That's incredible. And then I got to go to the premiere. You bring me to the premiere. Thank you so much for doing that. So we have seen the first 2 episodes. We are going to give a 3-2-1 score for these first 2 episodes, but because it's just 2 episodes of the show and not a traditional review of the entire show, we are going to save most of our stuff. That's going to be on the Patreon.
Yeah, so we'll talk about it for a few minutes. We're going to give our thoughts, and we're going to set it up, what we think about the show, how they're doing it, and stuff like that. We'll give you a solid few minutes, but we're also going to probably do spoilers and a little bit more on the Patreon because it's just 2 episodes.
Correct.
And again, we say this often. We're all the way in New York. We're surrounded by people. Charlie Cox is there.
That affects your score. Is that what you're going to say?
No, I was going to talk about we haven't talked about this. We saw it on Monday. It is now Thursday. We're fantastic. Frankie, Alex Coleman, George, Duck Takes, they're all there, all talking about it. They're asking us our scores, and we keep telling everybody, if you want to hear my score, Alex is going to have to step away, or if you want to hear Alex's score, I'll have to step away. We will talk about it on the podcast.
Continues to be the toughest part of our job. is the unable to talk about.
So I have no idea what you think. I hope I do.
I generally have an idea of what you think.
Yeah.
Because you saw the first 2 episodes twice.
Yeah, I've seen both of them twice.
I've heard little things about what you think. And generally, let's be fucking for real about this before we go into our scores. Everybody loved this show. At the premiere, walking out. Now, yes, event pressure is a thing. And a lot of the people that were invited to this premiere probably like Daredevil. You know what I'm saying? But it was a standing ovation when it was over. People were freaking out. Everybody was congratulating the cast. I talked to George, Movies and Stuff 14. He said he went into it thinking he wasn't going to like it. He loved it. Alex Coleman loved it. He was like, we are so back. This is the best thing Marvel's done in years. Everybody that saw the show was like, this is a masterpiece.
Yeah.
So generally, I think I know what you thought.
Yeah, we'll see. So we're going to give a score out of 10 for the first 2 episodes, and then no spoilers talk about it.
We're going to no spoiler talk about it.
Generally for a bit.
Generally, okay. And then we're going to do spoilers immediately after, and that'll be on the Patreon.
All right.
Here are our scores for Daredevil, Born Again.
Episode 1 and 2.
Episode 1 and 2. 3, 2, 1.
9 out of 10.
6 out of 10. Yeah, no. Y'all are out of your fucking mind. Look, there's great stuff in it. This show is going to piss off so many people. And the hubris that I see people like all the people that we just talked about walking out of this show, none of y'all have seen the fucking show. I love you. You're my guy. You are not a Daredevil fan. You finished the show 2 weeks ago. So It doesn't surprise me that you love this show. Everything that they're talking about, Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio, this is a continuation of the show. This is a new show, point blank. The shit where they were like, oh, it's going to be a different show, and they recast Vanessa and everything, and then they overhauled everything, and they were like, don't worry about it. We're keeping the same tone and this and that. Bullshit. They lied to you. This is a different show.
That's not true, guys. That's not true.
It is.
It is true. That's not true.
And it's the reverse effect of Captain America Brave New World. You know how people walked out of Brave New World and our entire group hated it, and we were like, oh wow, people are gonna hate this. And then it came out and people were like, why did people overhate this? This was actually kind of fun. It's the reverse. I think everybody that's walking out of this that's being like, Marvel is back, whatever.
I disagree.
Everybody was like, oh my gosh, this is a masterpiece, and this and this and this and this, saying all of the good things about it. They make heinous decisions in this show that you can never make. We just had Coy on the show, who is like you've said, he advises people on what you should do in shows and movies and stuff because he's such a comics expert. He said the most heinous decision that the MCU did with the MCU shows was Hawkeye, Kingpin and Hawkeye, because he wears the Hawaiian shirt and he's like, that's not my Kingpin. This show does something that's 10 times worse than that.
Oh, well, obviously I disagree. And Coy advised the writers of the show and knows them and gave them comics to read and was actually kind of excited about some of the decisions they make. So I don't know if that's necessarily going to be true. I talked to Coy about it last night. But yeah, it's a 9 out of 10, guys. I think it was really great. After the first 10 minutes, when I first saw it, so I saw it on Saturday. I watched the first 2 episodes, and it was basically just me and Blake there, and then I watched him again on Monday at the premiere. Blake so in my opinion, Blake leans over to me and he just goes, Disney understood the assignment. I totally agree with that. I mean, obviously it looks a little bit different. It's not going to look exactly the same cinematography wise or whatever, but in terms of themes and how well they're handling the characters and it being a continuation of the original show, yeah, I think they don't miss a beat really too much.
That is such a crazy thing to say considering how they start the show. Like, to me, we can't get into too much without the spoilers.
I think you're making that,
sorry, continue.
I've said that obviously they make a decision that is going to piss a lot of people off. I think you're letting, if that pisses you off, then sure. Yeah, they swing for the fences immediately. I think good for them. That's my decision. That's my opinion on it. It's going to piss a lot of people off, and it's interesting. Again, we don't want to go into spoilers yet, but I think you're letting that cloud how good the 2 episodes is. And again, we've only seen 2 episodes. There's 9?
Correct.
So the rest of the show could suck, or it could be just as good. But I think the first 2 episodes are like 2 of the best episodes of the show.
Oh my gosh. So that's just, in my opinion, these would be bad episodes in season 2. Like, these are 2 of the worst episodes of the show, period.
Yeah, I couldn't disagree more.
No.
This is one of the most disappointing reviews I think you've ever done on the podcast for me.
I'll get into some positives, okay? A lot of the new stuff that they do is interesting. They have a new character. He's in the trailer, so I don't think it's crazy. But the White Tiger character, the stuff that they're doing with him specifically in episode 2 is great. Genuinely really good writing there. And I think that going forward, that's going to allow the show to be better than these abysmal first 2 episodes. That being said, I gave it a 6 out of 10. That's not an abysmal score. I gave Captain America Brave New World Walking Out of a 5 out of 10, and I had positives to say about that. There are many positives. There's some great action set pieces in this. I love that some of the writing in it. Obviously, we love these characters, so there's some stuff that I just really, really like. I like Matt being Matt in certain ways. You know, we know he's a lawyer. We know he's a hot guy, this to that. There's some great scenes like that. It's not all negative here, but yes, it is brought down by the fact that they make heinous decisions. And I know that you're thinking...
Decisions?
Yes, and this is something that, I feel like nobody was talking about this. I walked out of the BD, Brandon Davis. I would say friend of the show, but we barely know him. I met him in Captain America Brave New World. But he's a nice guy. He makes great superhero content. He interviews the whole James Gunn slate that you just talked about with the news. He was the one that got that. He's the man. I was talking to him and I was like, we talked about the one heinous decision that you're thinking about. And then I talked about one that they make in episode 2. And he was like, oh, yeah, I didn't think about that. And I was like, and he was like, well, I hope that they fix it this way. And I was like, so we're already thinking about, there's a heinous decision that they make in episode 2 that in my opinion is worse than the thing that they do in episode 1. And I told Soups about it on the phone because Soups was like, tell me everything. I told Soups about it on the phone and Soups was like, no. And I feel like everybody is so concerned with what they do in episode 1 and how the action is and how the writing is and is it a continue, that they're not thinking about this scene. I was like getting back into the show after the decision that they make at the start of the first episode because I was like, fine, I got to get over that. It's a new show, whatever, because I could still enjoy the show for being a new show. And then they make that decision and it's like, you lied to us. You lied to us again and again and again. And this is why I told you that we can't really review this without going into spoilers because you don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. So you can't even debate me. And I'm sorry that you're disappointed in me. And again, I'm excited for the rest of the show. This is something I want to say. But I think the hubris of Marvel and you and a lot of the people that were at this premiere and a lot of the people that have seen this show to be like, everybody's going to love this show is wrong. We have friends.
I never said that.
We have friends that I know for a fact are going to hate this. They're going to hate this. And there's no way fans are about my dear friend Ian, who I was staying with while we were in New York, I told him about the decisions they made and because he was like, spoiler for me, because I was like, you're not going to like this show. And I spoiled it for him and he's like, I'm not watching the show because of the 2 of the decisions they make in these first 2 episodes that it's like me with The Last Jedi, where I think to myself, There's no way that anybody could dislike this. If I was like that about Last Jedi, I understand why people like you and many people hate Last Jedi, because I get that you wanted Luke to be a certain way and he's not that way. And the laundry list of things that I don't have a problem with Last Jedi that you have and other haters of Last Jedi have. That's how I feel about with this Daredevil show, where it's like some of the decisions they make in here are Luke in The Last Jedi. This is going to piss off so many people.
And before we go to the Patreon, I just want to say, obviously, like, you kind of know our general thoughts about it now. I am very high on it. I loved the action. I loved the characters. I loved some of the cinematography. I loved the villains so far. I loved the use of his powers and just all this kind of stuff. And we'll get into more of that in spoilers. But I've very much enjoyed it. But I'm a freaking idiot. So don't listen to me. Don't listen to Alex. Alex is also very much an idiot. So go watch it. Make your own decisions. The things that bother Alex might bother you. They might not bother you at all, like they didn't bother me. And listen to us, because we're actually smart.
The good stuff in Daredevil Born Again is good enough to justify you watching the first 2 episodes without question.
Okay, right.
Like I gave it a 6 out of 10. Right? I have my complaints, and believe me, we'll
get into it on the Patreon.
We'll get into it, but that is something I definitely want to say is. When it's enjoyable, it's peak. It is objectively.
And now imagine how peak it is to someone who isn't bothered by the stuff that you're bothered by.
I get it. Again, I said this. It's The Last Jedi. Everybody that hates Last Jedi can admit, well, it looks really, really good, and there's some really cool stuff like here and there. I feel like every Last Jedi hater has 1 or 2 things positive to say about it. I'm not a hater of Daredevil Born Again. But believe me, there's plenty of positive things. Like, if you don't care about the decisions that bother me, it's peak. It is.
Yeah, so just go make your own decisions, and, maybe you'll agree with me, and maybe you won't, and maybe you'll agree with Alex, maybe you won't.
But please let us know what you think. I cannot stress that enough.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting.
This is my Super Bowl. I want to know what everybody thinks so bad.
Go in with an open mind.
Yes.
And we'll be there to talk to you about it afterwards in the comments.
Yes. Love you guys.
Okay, we're going to go to the Patreon. So this episode is coming out on Monday. The show will come out on Tuesday. Correct. So I'm very interested to see what you guys think about it. Jump in our Discord, jump in our Patreon, go to our Instagram, go to our TikTok, blah, blah, blah.
And comment here on YouTube.
Comment here on YouTube. Again, I'm a 9 out of 10 on it. Obviously, you know Alex's thoughts. I'm very excited. I think some of the stuff was the greatest stuff I've seen recently. So I'm interested to see what this other decision is, because anyways, we'll get into Patreon.
I do want to say my final positive. I was feeling this way about this show the entire time, right? The way that I'm describing to you. Clearly, I didn't like it nearly as much as you or everybody else that saw it. But the final scene of episode 2 was so monumentally fantastic that when the credits came up, I was feeling this way. I got up and cheered with everybody else, because the ending of episode 2 is so great that it gives me confidence that the show will be good. I think this show will be good, but I do not think these 2 episodes are the 2 episodes that everybody's saying it is, and I just want everybody to know that.
And I think they are.
Sure.
I've seen both of them twice, and I liked it even more the second time.
Daredevil Born Again, episode 3 just released. Whenever this comes out, the next episode will be tomorrow.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're excited about that. We'll probably talk about that on the podcast. We'll probably talk about every single episode as they come out on the podcast.
Yeah, we'll see.
Can you give a score for episode 3 out of 10? Because I'm very interested to see what you think about this episode.
Yeah, like an 8.5.
I'm going to give it a 9.
Yeah.
Really impressed me.
Yeah, I thought you might like this one.
The lawyer stuff is just fabulous.
It's so good. I guess we'll talk about that in spoilers.
Yeah.
There's not much to talk about that's not spoilers.
You're right. So you want to just hop into spoilers?
Yeah, okay.
Spoiler alert for Daredevil Born Again episode 3.
Yeah, I hate the guy. Hate that guy. Hate him. You know what I'm talking about.
The informant.
Yep. Hate him.
Nikki Torres.
I was so mad.
So mad.
I was livid.
So mad. I felt so bad.
You little weasel.
The worst. He saved your life.
Matt was about to cook.
He saved your life.
His life has been saved twice by the people in that room. And he can't even just say, yeah, I was there. Frick you. Frick you. Have some balls. We even got you cocaine. We got you cocaine to make you happy and make you calm on the stand.
And you're the worst.
And you're going to lie? You're going to perjure yourself? Frick you.
Hate it.
Hate it.
So speaking of the perjury, we have to talk about the elephant in the room, which is How in the world did Matt win that case?
Yeah.
No way.
He shouldn't have won the case.
No way.
Yeah, no.
I appreciate what he does, etc., but like...
I mean, the best thing he did was the testimonials from the people who have been saved by White Tiger, specifically the ones from the cops.
Absolutely.
Was such a baller move. But
Absolutely.
I don't think that was enough to win.
But that's not enough to win that
the
case.
No. We got lucky. Sometimes you get lucky.
Sure. And it was just a particularly emotional jury. Speaking of emotional juries and decisions that won Matt the case, though, Hector's death is on Matt 100%. 100,000%.
No. Yes and no.
How? How is it no?
Okay, so he had two options. Either he does that and he gets him out of jail, or the guy goes to jail for the rest of his life, basically. Okay,
Sure.
So it's not like he just like posted his information online for no reason. He had to do one thing and he did it and he got him out of jail. So it worked. So it was worth it. Okay.
He didn't ask him.
Yeah, he should have asked him. Mm-hmm. He should have asked him 100%. But it was still a sick move to be like in the court with the mask. Pretty freaking sick. And then the judge was like, "Are you serious?"
The judge
be like, "You lectured me."
I loved the judge.
Yeah. The judge was like totally right. Like, yeah. The first, okay, it's on Fisk.
You think Fisk is responsible?
Absolutely.
Interesting.
What?
Okay.
I didn't even think that was a possibility that he wasn't.
Sure.
I also don't think it's Frank, by the way, but
Obviously not.
Okay. The dude immediately put the costume back on and went back out.
Correct.
Matt told him, you are done with this. You have to be done with this. It's not like the guy came into his house and shot him. He was white tigering and got shot.
You're right. You're right.
So it's slightly on Fisk. It's slightly on him for going out. And yeah, slightly on Matt. But Matt at least had a reason. And the reason was trying to get this guy from going to jail for the rest of his life.
I'm interested to see what they do with this Punisher storyline.
Mm-hmm. I'm interested in all the storylines.
Good on Marvel. Marvel's got some balls to tackle that.
They've got some balls.
They are going to upset a lot of people by doing that. I'm not saying me, right? But like...
That's a first.
I hate you. But I'm just saying, like, good on you, Marvel, for having the balls to do that. I disagreed with you having the balls to kill Foggy, but that took balls. This takes bigger balls, in my opinion. This Punisher police brutality storyline is fascinating that they're tackling this. And then, the credits, brutal.
That might be enough of a reason for me to bump it from an 8.5 to a 9. Just the decision to that opening monologue he gives about the frogs and his culture and the beach and everything, and then at the end just playing it.
Yep. Brutal.
I had people telling me that they just sat and listened to the credits for like 10 minutes.
Of course.
Just kept running it back. Like
we all did.
Crying. No, they aren't pulling their punches. I think they're telling the story so well. And the fact that they're not pulling their punches makes me so interested to see what they're going to continue to do. I mean, we're only 3 episodes in. We still have 6. And I feel like there's so much is going to happen in that 6 episodes.
I agree.
Yeah, but the fact that they let Matt lawyer for like a whole episode.
And it was great.
Oh, and the switcheroo with Cherry when they're opening the van in the back.
Awesome. Loved that.
Love Cherry. And then the moment when Matt pulls out the mask and the lawyer lady turns to Cherry and Cherry's just like...
Loved it.
I love him. He's my favorite.
So for me, I gave episode 1, I would say I'd give episode 1 like a 5 out of 10, episode 2 a 7 out of 10, episode 3 a 9 out of 10. The show is going in a path that I am enjoying, obviously, a lot. Obviously, you know my complaints. You know I feel it's a distinctly different show. But it's okay if it's a good show. And I do think it's going to be a good show. So I do want to say...
I think it's going to be a great show.
I do want to say that. And then the final thing I want to say, and I'm really interested to hear your perspective on this, because obviously I feel like they've done a lot really differently in this show. Mm-hmm. I don't like Fisk's assistant dude, the British guy.
Why?
I just think he's nothing and not interesting. And this is what I was going to say to you. He's not interesting in this show. I don't think the lawyers from season 3 are particularly that interesting. There's the weasel-looking one that goes into the house with Nadeem where he grabs the paper bag. That's an awesome moment, but I don't think he's that good either. What I'm trying to say to you is, let's just bring back Wesley. I don't think people will care that much if you bring him back from the dead. I really don't. Like, it's a great scene in season 1, but in my opinion, this show is different enough. Just recast. Just bring back Wesley. I don't care how you explain it. He is so spectacular in season 1. He's such a likable assistant to Fisk. In my experience in reading Daredevil comics, James Wesley is a big deal character that doesn't just get killed off on a whim. Not saying they killed him off on a whim. That scene in season 1 is spectacular, but just bring him back. This is the MCU. To me and to a lot of people, this does feel like a different show. Just bring him back because he's so spectacular. What do you say to that?
One, if they brought a character back from the dead without explanation, then that might actually be grounds for calling it a different show. But they're not going to do that. Unless they do, and then egg on my face. And then number 2, you know how people are telling me to get off of Cecil's wiener? Maybe you should get off of Wesley's.
Totally. I give you this every day of the week. I didn't. We went to the Daredevil Born Again premiere. I didn't go up to Charlie Cox. I didn't go up to Vincent D'Onofrio. I didn't go up to Deborah Ann Wool. I didn't go up to any of these guys. I didn't go up to Wilson Bethel. I went up to Wesley. I was like, I cried when they killed you. I love you. You're the GOAT. I was like, you are the man.
He's at the premiere. Maybe they'll bring him back. Maybe they will. Maybe some Thanos snap blip.
Yes.
Something. I don't know.
Dude, I don't care how you explain it. He's so, like, when that guy was walking off and he was like, I work for the man. I was like, Wesley is so much better at this.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't bother me. I think it bothers you because you like Wesley so much.
Of course. But, like, that's what I'm saying.
We've only seen, like, 3 scenes with this guy, really. We're
Sure.
3 episodes in. I'm not judging the side assistant character to Fisk that much.
Petition to bring back Wesley. That's where I'm at.
I will sign the petition to not do that. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I love you, though.
Clearly not enough. You've just broken my heart.
I'm so sorry.
I hope that Cecil ruins everything next season. You SOB.
We just watched Daredevil Born Again Season 1, Episode 4.
Correct.
So, can we just say spoilers? Or do you...
Yeah.
We gotta, like...
We can't talk about it without spoilers.
Yeah.
Week to week, we're going to do spoiler reviews every episode of Daredevil Born Again. Give me your general thoughts on Daredevil Born Again Episode 4. Do you have a score out of 10?
Yeah, give it like a 8.5.
Yeah. I think I'm with you. I think it was a slight step back from the previous episode. I think I liked the previous episode more.
I think I like this one a little more.
Why?
Both endings are shocking.
Okay.
I guess I got the other one spoiled for me, so maybe that took it away a little bit.
Maybe.
I love the lawyering stuff, but we get a little bit of that in this episode too.
Correct.
What else was? I'm trying to compare. Why do you like the other one?
Kind of the discussion we just had on last week's pod, where I was talking about
and the Punisher scene.
Absolutely, and we'll get to that. But I like season 1 of Invincible more than season 3 of Invincible because it's tighter, one story consistently, etc. And there are hints of little other things, but it's mostly one story. That's how I feel with episode 3 versus episode 4 of Daredevil Born Again. Daredevil Born Again episode 4, while being good and having high highs, is all over the place. Okay, now we're going to show you Muse. Now we're going to do Matt doing detective work about something that happened last episode.
Oh, that was sick too. I loved that.
Loved that.
Loved that.
Okay, now he's going to be a lawyer and do fun lawyer stuff while being flirty with this woman we've never met. Okay, and now we're going to laugh about Wilson Fisk always being surrounded by, we built this city on rock and roll.
That was such a good bit.
Hilarious.
But this time it's in Latvian.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Latvian. Because I thought it was Latvian.
Yeah.
At first I was like, holy, this is huge. But no, it's Latvian. Two different things. And then we're going to go and we're going to see Frank, and it's going to be the best scene in the whole show. And it was just...
I think, maybe that's why I liked it. It had a little bit of everything. It had a little bit of the lawyering. It had a little bit of his Riz with the woman. Mm-hmm. It's got a little bit of Fisk. It's got a lot of Fisk.
Riz with the therapist that he's dating at the end.
Oh, that's what I was referring to. You're referring to the
other woman
the lawyer
that's checking
lady.
him out. Yeah.
She was giving him the eye multiple times. And then he realizes that Cop Man didn't.
Yes.
By listening to his heartbeat and everything.
That was good.
So it was a really good episode. Very good.
Is a lot of people will say it, especially talking about it tomorrow. Is the Frank Castle Matt Murdock scene in episode 4 of Daredevil Born Again? in the conversation for best MCU scene ever?
Ooh. I would have to really, really, really think through that. It depends on it depends on what kind of scene you're talking, because you can compare it to like the Iron Man snap scene or the portal scene, which is just so epic in an action sequence. But like in terms of like a 1v1 conversation, I mean, it was so on par with the original and their ideologies and the way they expressed that, and the fact that he brought up Foggy and was just. And that he brought up his son and how his son is saying, "Go get him, Dad." Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Yeah, they handled it very, very well. And I said, like, obviously it's a great cameo scene and it serves a very good purpose for the structure of the show or whatever. But like, I do hope he comes back and that's not all we get of him, because I want him to like help with the cop situation and whatever. And it would be cool if this is a cameo scene, sure, but I do want a little bit more of him. But in terms of overall dialogue scene in the MCU, yeah, it's got to be up there, right? I would really need to think through it though.
One of my favorite 1v1 dialogue scenes in the MCU up until this point is Captain America Steve Rogers versus Tony Stark Iron Man in the press conference in Civil War, where he's talking about the pens.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going back and forth, is incredible. This shits on that. When I think about like dialogue scenes in the MCU, that's the first one that comes to mind, and this scene is clearly better than that scene. This scene was so good, it helps justify the Foggy decision a lot more for me.
I was literally thinking that.
Because, like, it is informing who Matt is going to be for the rest of his life. Mm-hmm. And that's a story choice worthy enough to make that decision, in my opinion, even though it was so shocking and I disagreed with it, and I still disagree with how they did it. That way of doing it where it's now going to be his character. I was expecting, this is something I wanted to ask you. I thought this episode was going to be entirely the fallout of Hector's death, and Matt is like super depressed because he blames himself entirely for it. That's not what's going on in this episode at all. And I loved the juxtaposition where he's blaming himself to this day for Foggy, and that's what it is. That's so much more interesting.
You see in my reaction,
a better choice.
In my reaction when he's like, "You didn't save your friend," I thought he was talking about Hector.
Oh, interesting.
Or was it Victor?
Hector Ayala.
Yeah. I thought he was talking about Hector.
Interesting.
And then it wasn't until he was like, say his name. I paused it. I was like, oh, he's talking about Foggy. I was like, that's way worse. That's so much more mean.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a really good scene. I mean, like, back to it immediately, these two with their conversations about, oh, don't give me your gosh dang system, blah, blah, blah. No, it was...
And the stuff with Bullseye where he gets to breathe the same air you breathe. He got life!
What about Foggy? Did Foggy get life?
Fabulous.
So good.
Fabulous.
So good.
And I don't know if you noticed this when the credits came up. Written by Kevin Feige, this episode.
Wow.
And I didn't know that. Maybe he's written all of them. I don't know.
Friend of the pod.
But...
Show the picture.
But that was I was like, oh, we're taking this one a little bit, we're leaning a little forward for that one. And that scene was, I thought, really profound and really, really good. I'm kind of with you. It's hard to compare that Punisher, Daredevil 1v1 talk versus 360 Avengers or Portal scene or whatever.
Thor's arrival at
Wakanda. But it is an excellent scene and one of the best written scenes in the MCU.
Not as good as the opening of the show.
See, yes, it is. It's significantly better than the opening of this show. It's not even close.
No.
But I'm happy you like the opening so much. Final thing I want to talk about with this show. He's 100% going to kill Vanessa.
So... it is interesting because when they're at the dinner table, they have the whole "am I safe" thing, and her asking, "Should I?" and him saying no. When I saw that, I was like, that was the first time I was like, oh.
Mm-hmm. I may have cooked with my take a couple weeks ago.
Perhaps. I'm still not convinced of that, but that conversation was like a little twinkling of that. But it also might just have been a little foreshadowing of him not being safe with Adam.
Sure.
Yeah.
100%. The reason I say this is not even because of the "am I safe" at the dinner conversation. It's because of the conversation that she has one-on-one with Matt's
Where she
girlfriend.
says he'll do anything but that.
I am at my safest by his side, or whatever she said, which was a reference to season 1, by the way, which I thought was cute. That was when I was like, when she said, it was like famous last words, like that was the moment I had. I thought he was going to kill her at the dinner scene.
No.
I did. I was like, she just said she's always safe with him. He's going to kill her right now, which
No.
I'm glad he didn't, but I thought that was fascinating.
I'm still not convinced of that, but it was a twinkling of that I definitely thought of.
I would love to be right. I love being right. What do you think about Adam?
I mean, one of your complaints was that that's not Fisk. It's definitely Fisk.
Sure. One of your arguments in favor of the Vanessa situation was she's attracted to men of power. She's attracted to power. Adam has no power. He's an artist she found in a dumpster.
Yeah, well, that's why she was attracted to Fisk. I'm not saying the throwaway person she had an affair with. I'm not going to psychoanalyze every person she sleeps with.
Sure,
but the reason I think she loves Fisk is that, yes.
Sure. I'm just saying. I wanted to point that out. I do think Adam in a dungeon is interesting.
Is that Fisk? Is that enough Fisk for you? Him eating dinner, a fancy dinner with a fork and knife while this guy is screaming bloody murder to let him out?
Yeah, I like it. It's good.
Okay. Just had to wait 2 more episodes. Is that too long?
Yeah, but he still looks awkward in the therapy.
That's the most awkward he's looked. I don't think that was the only time.
And I like the campaign stuff. I like him being frustrated with his campaign manager, where he's like, I want to do this. And she's like, you can't do it that way. And
If I was her, I would have quit.
100%, by the way. How about when he threatens Daniel and straight up says, it'll be the last thing you do?
I was waiting for him to add at this office.
Yes,
but no.
No. And she's like...
Yeah, that shot was a good shot, too, because it was them in the foreground, and then it rack focuses to her.
Yes. So, yeah, I would have quit as well. But, like, him being frustrated with her, I think it's interesting juxtaposition for him, who always gets his way. And then another thing is with it is I loved, like we said earlier in this, I loved the singing bit. I thought it was hilarious.
It was really funny.
Times.
Yeah.
Both times it was hilarious.
And we're ready for a song. No, that is very talented.
So talented. Thank you. The city never sleeps. Like, that's good. I like that because you're selling me on this guy's really uncomfortable in this world, but he clearly really wants to do it. Now, you're going to really have to sell me on the motivation here. What do you think about that?
Of him wanting...
He's got to have a really good motivation to be mayor. Does that make sense?
Kind of. That doesn't really bother me.
You think you don't need an explanation for why he wants to be mayor?
I think he's given it already.
Interesting.
Yeah.
He wants to fix the city as he always says he wanted to do, but now he's going to do it
No,
legally.
he's just trying it a different way.
Yeah.
But he's obviously still in there. Did we talk about the fact that he's torturing a guy and just keeping him locked up?
No, it's
while
good.
eating dinner?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's good. Still a bitch in therapy, though.
You're so ridiculous.
Same guy? I don't think so. One scene to the next. No, I'm not giving this one to you.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, they completely changed the character. They lied to you. Literally torturing a guy, keeping him in a dungeon while he eats dinner. But because he goes to therapy with Vanessa.
I don't like it. Those have consistently been my least favorite scenes in every episode.
I haven't had a problem with him at all until this episode. This episode, he looked a little too awkward. But again, it was because she was specifically describing the guy she was having and like complimenting the guy she was having an affair with. If anything is in the world is going to make Wilson Fisk look and feel awkward, it's Vanessa talking about an affair. Like, that makes perfect sense to me.
What do you think at the end of the episode mirroring each other where Daredevil's coming back and
Cookie! Oh, it's so good.
And Fisk has got the guy.
He's walking past the painting with the blood on it to go eat dinner while this guy, listening to this guy screams while Matt opens up and you see the masks and the batons, and then he does this little flip thing, he catches it above his head, turned me on.
Yeah.
You know how I am about that kind of stuff.
Of course, you love batons.
I love, yeah.
You love those long rods.
Well, I don't know if we need to describe it like that. I just like talented majorette
You
type
like people
women.
that are talented with long rods.
Women.
But
I don't really care
Matthew Murdoch a woman?
you got me there.
Charlie Cox handling long metal rods.
I think you're focusing
got you really excited.
No. So
That's what I'm taking away from this conversation.
describing it is like that is a little interesting, but I would focus less on the long rod part and more on like the talent part of it.
Because not everybody can handle those long rods.
All right. Daredevil Born Again, episode 5 and 6. It is time. No, yes, 5 and 6. It is time.
Episode 5 is the best episode of the show so far. Agree or disagree?
Disagree.
Agree. Okay, you think the first episode is better?
No, I think episode 6 is better.
Okay, we'll get to that then. Episode 5 is the best episode up until that point.
Perhaps. I think I could just make the argument for any of them. But
The bank robbery
is awesome.
from start to finish was fabulous.
Are we ranking? Do you want to do out of 10 for either of these?
Sure, we get.
I don't care.
Episode 5 ranking out of 10.
Sure.
3, 2, 1.
9.5.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Like you can't do it better. I thought it was great. In my opinion, I said this to you off air.
I'm listening.
I said this to you off air. I believe that episode 5 of Daredevil Born Again was pre-overhaul, right? So they everybody on the internet got mad that they weren't bringing back Karen and Foggy. There you go. Very nice. I like that a lot.
I'm about to break your leg in half, dude.
That was a great scene. But a lot of people were upset, so they overhauled a lot of stuff. This episode felt like what they were probably originally going to do with the show. It's very MCU. They're talking about Miss Marvel. Kamala Khan's father is obviously a main character in the episode. It's robbing a bank. It's a bottle episode is what they're called. Like it's very contained in its own story. But it's Matt is using his powers perfectly. He's awesome. It's high stress. It's just like it's a great contained little episode, and I thought clearly the best episode of the series so far, episode 5.
Yeah, it was Daredevil being freaking John McClane and Die Hard.
Yeah.
Just like kind of sneaking around.
Yep.
Picking them off.
Yep.
When he's...
So cool.
Oh, using the powers. Oh, he's using the powers.
How about his
And then he says, I'm a really good lawyer.
how about his voice on the phone?
Yeah, that was good.
Great.
Catching the shotgun upside down so it doesn't... Oh.
I did feel, this isn't a complaint. Obviously, I just gave the episode a 10 out of 10. But I did feel the choreography for the fight scenes was significantly different in episode 5 versus the choreography in the rest of the show. And that includes episode 6 with the Muse fight, which we will get to. Do you know what I'm saying? The punches felt different. It was...
The one in the stairwell
Yes.
for sure, because I think they were trying to do that like no music thing,
yeah.
and they could have done it a little better.
I think so too.
There were too many dead moments where there weren't any sound effects,
Yep.
where it felt a little awkward, but overall still fun fight scene. And then obviously he F's that guy up in the hall in the alleyway.
The alleyway is incredible.
Smashes his head into a bottle.
But how about
because why not?
Just the scene where he's just slowly taking off. It's so cool.
Take the tie off, dude.
It's so cool.
The aura was insane.
No, it was awesome.
How many times can he aura farm?
Yep.
It's not fair.
Yeah.
It's not fair. You're giving us episodes where he's risen up women, and the next episode you're having people point guns in his faces, and he's just wearing his little red glasses,
Yeah.
looking like a G.
Not acknowledging.
It's not fair. It's
Yeah.
not fair. Matt
Yeah.
Murdock is the coolest human being to ever have existed ever.
Yeah. No, it's good.
Speak.
Yeah, I really liked it. Yeah,
Speak.
I thought that episode 5 was
Speak.
fabulous.
Speak.
Fabulous. Do you have anything else you want to say about episode 5, or shall we move to episode 6?
Speak.
Sure.
Speak.
I thought that episode was excellent.
Speak.
Yeah.
Speak.
Okay. Episode 6?
Speak. Now we're going to episode 6?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, unless you have anything to say about it, episode 5.
Episode 5.
I thought the St. Patty's Day aspect was fun.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the accents were obviously very fun.
Mm-hmm. Very comic booky.
Yes.
Having Irish people
Yes.
rob, on St. Patty's Day and tell me a joke and
Yeah. It
Was
brings
that-
back Cherry's friend.
the woman.
Yes. She's the woman that's talking to him about retirement in the bar at Josie's. Yeah.
Good call.
Yeah.
Peak.
Yeah, it was good. It was a really, really great episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shall we move to episode
Sure.
6? All right. Here are our scores for episode 6 of Daredevil Born Again. Out of 10, 3, 2, 1.
10. It's peak.
Wow.
It's peak. It's peak.
I think I'm going to go 7.
Great. It's peak. You can talk all the negative crap you want to. I have zero things in response. Go ahead. Floor is yours.
I think that there's a lot of good in here. I think that the reveal of the blood is the paint was fun, and I like all of Fisk's lines where it's like the garbage man is doing a better job than the NYPD. I like him putting together the anti-vigilante squad. That's fun and evil, and he's being very Fisk. I like the Adam scene, and I love the parallels between the Adam scene with Fisk and obviously the Daredevil scene with Muse. I thought those parallels were awesome. I think that there's some of the best acting from Vincent D'Onofrio in the entire show so far, in Born Again so far, is in this episode with his scene with Luca and his scenes with the people that he's asking money for. I think that there's a lot of positives in this episode, but a couple of negatives is I don't quite understand Matt's arc. Like, I just okay, like the whole point of the show is like, okay, like he's not Daredevil anymore, and he's getting slower and slower and slower to becoming Daredevil. So like we have 3 episodes left. I'm just like, where are we going from here? I'm feeling the MCU thing that you always feel. Clearly you don't feel it with this show, but the MCU thing that you always feel, like you're like, it's an interesting premise and you've got me in episode 1, 2, and then 3, 4, you're kind of losing me. I feel like nothing's going. That's kind of how I'm feeling with Daredevil's arc. I'm just like, I don't know where you're going, and I don't know if I'm that invested at this point. And then, I mean, I think you were in the room. You heard it. I audibly wailed when he started fighting Muse. What is the point of doing Muse if he can sense him? That's like the coolest thing about Muse as a Daredevil villain, and that's why he has to get help from Kingpin. And I don't care if they're working together or not. I don't care if you're redoing the story or whatever, but Muse, okay, so he's just a serial killer? That's not that interesting to me. If he's a serial killer that's painting with the blood of his victims that Daredevil cannot sense, that's so interesting, and you're not doing that at all. Which, sure, maybe he could learn his inhuman power in the next episode and then he doesn't sense them, and then I'll eat crow. But, like, I don't think they're going to do that.
Is eat crow a phrasing?
I don't know. Egg on my face, excuse me. Like,
I've never heard eat crow.
I think I've heard eat crow. Like, I'll egg on my face and then cool, but, like, I don't think they're going to do that. And so it's just like, I've been looking forward to Muse this entire show so far because everybody's been like, oh, it's gnarly and this and that. I don't feel that the stuff they've done so far is gnarly, so they're going to have to do something really gnarly next. And then, or people have been overhyping it, and I'm overall very disappointed that, and I don't think it's unjust of me to be disappointed that Daredevil can sense Muse. It's like, you did a Fantastic Four movie, and Mr. Fantastic cannot stretch. You've taken away Muse's power. Like, why? I think I have a right to be disappointed about that.
Sure.
But you have no rebuttal.
No.
This may end up being one of our bigger disagreements in the history of the pod, just because
it already is.
You are so high on it, and I'm just consistently disappointed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah. So the Daredevil thing I think is insane. I don't understand that take. If the Muse thing bothers you, bother you. Totally fine. I don't care.
But it doesn't bother you at all?
I've never read a Muse thing, never seen Muse literally in my life. So if I did, I'm sure it would bother me. The powers that you're describing are very cool. I think if they introduce them, that would be sick.
Yeah.
Egg on your face, I don't care. Like, if they don't do it, it's not going to ruin the show for me. But I just agreed that, like, if that bothers you, totally fair. Totally fair. Don't care. Like, that's on you.
All right.
Like, that's totally understandable. Mm-hmm. Because that is a cool thing that they could do, and I don't know why they wouldn't do that. You know what I mean?
Because I've said this, and I think other people have said this. I thought he was just going to be a mutant. The MCU, they're just making everybody a mutant, right? They made Miss Marvel a mutant. They made Namor a mutant. They're making everybody mutants. He's an Inhuman, so they weren't going to make him an Inhuman because the Inhumans don't exist in this universe because that show was awful. So I was like, okay, they're not going to make him. They'll just make him a mutant. But it seems like he's not anything, and he's just a regular guy. And that's very disappointing.
We shall see.
Yeah.
We shall see.
I guess, but I don't. He knew exactly where he was in this episode. He was beating the crap out of him.
Yeah, episode 6, Daredevil Born Again, 10 out of 10. I mean, there was not a bad scene. Wasn't a bad scene. The start, there's 2 parallels between Kingpin and Daredevil. There's one at the start where he's having the conversation with where Daredevil's having a conversation with his girlfriend, and
Yep.
it's flashing back and forth between that and I think him learning about the blood.
Kingpin, yep, yeah.
That was a really interesting scene. She was trying to convince him to like hook her up with the Punisher or Daredevil, and he's having to deal with that, and Kingpin's dealing with having to learn about this. I think it was a very cool way to reveal the blood thing, which is freaking gnarly. The fact that he's got 60 kills already is insane. I think the use of it makes Hector's storyline even more important because it leads into his niece trying to come to Daredevil and then like do the right thing and do what her uncle would have done, and then that is the reason that brings Daredevil finally back out. The moment where he's calling 911 and just says "frick it" and turns the phone off was freaking awesome. The suit up, the fight, and then obviously the fight at the end, and the parallel between those two going back and forth with Wilson just throwing that guy like a rag doll while he just hands him the axe, and so many of the shots, headbutt to headbutt, and then throwing into a wall, throwing into
Loved
a wall.
all that.
The fight choreo was amazing. The editing was amazing. The whole thing was just amazing, and the fact that it ended with him saving her because he wasn't able to save White Tiger, but he was able to save her because he became Daredevil again, and her being like Daredevil and him saying "I'm here," and then that's the end of the episode. They're cooking out of their minds. I think they cooked with both episodes. 9.5 out of 10 for episode 5, and then 10 out of 10 for episode 6. I just like they're out of control, dude. I literally like went for a walk around the neighborhood because I was like losing it.
I just don't understand why you're so high on it.
Because it's awesome. I was like freaking out.
Is this the best season of the show? Do you think this is better than the previous seasons of Daredevil?
I'm not going to say that until I've seen the entire show. But I think you could make that argument.
Are you enjoying it more than you did enjoy? Like,
again, I watched
it seems to me that you are.
Oh, for sure. I mean, there are parts that I am for sure, but like that doesn't mean that I'm going to say one is better than the other necessarily. Because again, I saw season 1 when it first came out. I don't even know how freaking old I was, so I would need to watch that one again.
Was years ago.
But second half of season 3 probably hasn't been topped. But if they nail the landing of this one, it'd be hard for me to not at least have that conversation. This is better than the first half of season 3.
Yeah. And then a big thing that I wanted to talk to you about this, and this won't be something that we disagree on. I just want to ask you this question. Why do you think they released these 2 episodes tonight?
Was it not because they didn't want to like line it up perfectly with Andor?
Oh, really? You think that's what it was?
That's what someone told me.
Oh, interesting.
So
now it's not coming out the same day that Andor premieres. Right. It's a week before. Gotcha. Because I was like, we're getting 2 episodes tonight. It must be some kind of event, but they're not.
No, they're not connected.
They don't correlate.
No, they don't correlate at all.
Interesting. Yeah.
And the little moment of him putting the jacket on and it's like ripped. I was like, what does that mean?
He's getting big.
He's getting big because he's freaking Kingpin again, dude.
No.
And he's just like, that guy comes into his office and he's like, you're going to threaten me? $1 million more. Boom. Sick. Matt's aura farming the whole show. It's amazing.
I do like, they're making Kingpin real strong. I mean, he's
tossing him around.
Yeah. But like,
I legitimately thought he was going to rip his head off.
Interesting.
When he put him on the table and he's doing this, there's a part where he grabs his head and I was like, oh my gosh, his head's coming off.
That would have been interesting.
I would have been like, oh!
That would have been interesting.
Yeah, and episode 5, I mean, the fight scenes were good. Again, like you said, maybe a little bit different, but like letting him use his power and connecting it into the MCU in such a subtle but wonderful way where you're talking about Kamala and you're using a character that's been in a movie, but like it's the father of Kamala. Like it's not that huge of a cameo, but it's solid enough where it's like, and he's entertaining. He's such a good character.
He's great. He's
the
so
dad
good.
and mom of Kamala are great.
They're the best.
And then him and Matt's banter. So yeah, it was a contained episode, but it connected it to the MCU in a great way. And I just love the use of his powers. He's leaving the bank and he hears that they're getting robbed. So he comes back, acts like he's blind. He's hearing their plan. He's hearing this to unlock the safe. I could just watch that.
He's using the voice to redo their voice.
It's so good. It's so good.
He used the hearing to go back and had Kirsten call 911, which is why they got there so quickly. Mm-hmm. It's really good. It's really, really good. That episode is fabulous. Are you at all... you're not at all questioning where we're going here or anything, and
No.
you're just like you're flying by the seat of your pants. You're like, take me wherever because you've entertained.
Take my body.
Yeah.
If Daredevil Born Again became a human being, I would perform sexual pleasures on the human being.
You're a real big fan of this show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I mean, we still have Muse. Like, there's still so much to do. There's still so much to do.
Well, you got the Punisher. We've got the whole Punisher story.
Yeah.
So this is my point: is we've got 3 episodes left, and you've got to wrap up Punisher. Are you going to make his niece the second White Tiger? Are you going to wrap up Muse? Is Kingpin obviously Kingpin is like full bad again, I guess. But like how are you going to wrap that story up? Are you going to wrap that story up? I guess not. Like. There's just a lot of it feels like a classic MCU TV show where it's episode 5 of Moon Knight and we have this, and all that needs to be wrapped up in the final episode. That's how I feel about this.
Well, we still have 3 episodes left, and
Sure.
I think it's way more well written than any other MCU show in terms of being succinct and making sense and the storylines being well written enough to make the storyline worth it. Like it's nowhere near as losing me or confusing or uninteresting as compared to Moon Knight. Like, it's not even remotely close. Like, I care about every single character in the show more than I care about anyone in Moon Knight. And they do tons of things in these episodes. Like, they introduced White Tiger and killed him off in 2-3 episodes. Mm-hmm. Like, they can easily accomplish plenty in 3 episodes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I don't need them to wrap up every single thing.
No, because we are getting a season 2,
right,
and we know that, and this and that. We'll see. Very interesting.
Speak.
I'm glad you enjoy it so much, Andrew. And I'm sorry that I break your heart every day on this podcast. I think it's fine. Like, I just kind of think it's fine.
Yeah, I think that's your craziest take.
Like, first of all, it's not, because this is much more of a public opinion than your opinion that this is the best MCU project of all time. But,
have you seen the online reactions to these last 2 episodes?
I haven't yet, no.
Okay.
Are they gassing it up?
I haven't seen a negative comment yet.
Well, yeah, sure, but what are you going to do? Again, I really liked episode 5, but for me, it's so.
And when I'm saying this is your craziest take, I'm saying it's in my opinion. I'm not trying to speak for the entire internet.
Yeah. We are rolling. So we're here at CinemaCon, but we got an episode of Daredevil Born Again last night. We've only got 2 more, so we definitely got to cover this one. And as we've seen a little bit, usually we film these the night of, so we don't really know what the internet reaction is going to be. But I have a pretty good grasp of how our audience feels about this episode. Are you okay? That did not look healthy. Yeah.
I'm okay.
Okay.
A little tired.
Okay. I've some understanding of how our audience feels about it because of some of the comments on your reaction on Patreon.
Uh-huh.
And also the internet. I've been seeing a lot of different stuff on Twitter. So as always, here are our scores for episode 7 of Daredevil Born Again. Mm-hmm. 3, 2, 1.
8.
8 out of 10 as well.
Fair.
I know that may surprise some people, but I seem to be the opposite of public opinion on this show. Let's just get down to the nitty gritty. Spoiler alert for Daredevil Born Again.
Yeah, like
they killed Muse.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Okay, so that's bad.
You dislike that choice?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
So that's bad.
Okay.
He's obviously a little bit underdeveloped. They introduced him and then you don't, or kind of.
Yeah, in episode 2.
And then you don't really see him until last episode or at the very end of whatever. And it would have been cooler to have, progressively see him in more therapy sessions or, see more kills, see him perform with and without the mask. Because that was like literally the first time we've seen him without the mask is also the episode he dies in, which makes me think they're still going to do something. I don't know how, but if that is the end of Muse, I think that's bad.
Okay.
Maybe someone else takes up the mantle. They're talking about Daniel or whatever being the next Muse or something.
That would be bad.
That would be weird.
Yeah.
I do think he's going to become evil at some point, but I don't know if he's a Muse. But yeah, I mean, I love the character, everything, the acting from the kid in the therapy, and maybe they'll do some sort of thing. He comes back. That's how he gets his powers. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think if they do that, that would be really cool.
Yeah.
Because then we'll get to see him more.
Absolutely.
But if that's why I'm giving it an 8 out of 10 because I'm waiting to see.
Yeah.
If that's the decision, then that decision is my least favorite thing in the show, probably so far.
Yeah.
But I'm just waiting and see, which is why I'm still giving it an 8. The way he went out was really cool on the paint and the canvas and the fight scene and everything was really great, and I loved the rest of the episode. I just don't understand that decision right now, so we'll just have to see.
One of my favorite shots in the show so far is him on the canvas.
Yeah.
I love the idea that his death is his final art piece.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
For me, I completely agree with a lot of the stuff you said. This is just a complaint I had last week. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't really surprise me that they did this. Especially when you had the therapy scene, like you said, was really, really great.
Yeah.
I just wish, you introduced that he needs help in episode 2. If we would have gotten 2 or 3 of these scenes throughout, maybe give us one of those scenes in the bank robbery episode.
Yeah.
Maybe give us one of those scenes in one of the earlier episodes. And this be the final therapy instead of the first and final therapy session. I think you really could have developed him a bit better like that. But I do feel like they are juggling a lot of different characters, and I think that this episode, a lot of people are saying this on the internet. I feel this way about other episodes, but this episode is very apparent of the reshoots. Like, it is clear when it's being reshot and when it's not. There are shots from time to time where Daredevil's cowl fits him differently. And so people are pointing that out on the internet. So yeah, this show is a victim of all the reshoots that they did because of the overhaul. And I will say, considering all of the reshoots and everything, it's probably the best show or movie ever to be reshot as much as this show has been clearly reshot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the two options with Muse are they really underutilized him, or they've still got something in the bag. And I hope it's option 2.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We got, what was 2 episodes left?
Yes.
All the other little storylines, the Vanessa Fisk thing, I still think that's interesting. I think Matt's relationship with Heather is give me more shower sex scenes, that was great.
Okay.
But I will say, I was a pretty big Cherry guy in the first couple episodes.
Yes.
After watching the first couple episodes, I was like, he's my favorite new character.
Yeah.
He kind of sucks.
He's getting a lot of hate on the internet.
He's getting annoying.
Yeah.
I understand that there are going to be some people in Matt's life that don't want him to be Daredevil and some people that do and whatever. But if you're just going to not see the positives at all of the fact that they've been searching for this guy for weeks. I found him in one night.
Yep.
There's a girl that's alive because of me.
Yep.
And all you're going to say is, I'm not helping you. This is your fault. And then walk out. Yeah, frick you. I'm sorry.
I'm with the people on the internet here, and I've kind of always been. I've never been a huge fan of Sherry the way that you have been.
Yeah.
Shouldn't that just be Detective Mahoney? And I do feel this way about all of the new characters, Kirsten, Cherry, a lot of them, where it's if that was Detective Mahoney, right, the black guy from seasons 1 through 3, who we've seen have a relationship with Matt. And then he also has many instances where he interacts with Daredevil, to see that they're the same guy in the first episode. Now I more understand these scenes, but you haven't given me any time other than this show to show that they have history whatsoever. So I have trouble buying these conversations because these lines and stuff from Cherry kind of feel out of nowhere. I don't understand why he's so frustrated with Matt at all. I don't understand the history there. You know what I'm saying? And because you did the year time jump between episode 1 of this show in the middle of episode 1, I don't know what was Cherry's reaction to him being Daredevil. Was he upset with him? Was it? So, It does, how I've been complaining about the show the entire time. It just feels like every idea is interesting but severely undercooked, probably because of all the stuff that's going on. We haven't had a serious appearance from Kirsten other than complaining that Matt is unavailable in 4 episodes, even though she was established as a main character in episodes 1, 2, and 3. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like if they do a grand finale and Kirsten is involved with a grand finale of episode 8 or episode 9, I feel like we are going to have the same problem we have with
Muse.
Cherry. Where it's this is undercooked. I don't know where this emotion is coming from. If she blows up at Matt, you're never available anymore. I'm not going to, it's going to feel out of left field because we don't have the history that we would have with a Detective Mahoney instead of a Cherry. That is a part of my complaint, that you did overhaul a bunch of stuff. You did cast new actors. That's part of my initial complaint for sure.
Yeah, sure. I think, the Cherry one I understand a little bit because, again, the time jump totally makes sense. We see him realize he's Daredevil, and then we don't get anything else.
But you also don't know him before that scene.
Yeah, sure.
The only scene we have of him up until this point is him and the Asian officer girl and she's talking about his retirement. That's all we know, you know?
Yeah. I mean, they were introducing him. Like, so that one I understand a little bit. I just think, again, we'll have to see with Muse, but like the things that have cooked long enough are the more important things.
Yeah.
And I think they're pretty interesting. Like the Fisk Adam thing, the Fisk Vanessa thing, Matt Heather thing, Matt Daredevil thing.
Yeah.
I think all of those are cooked.
I wanted to ask you this, because obviously you are a huge fan. You've mentioned it multiple times on this episode. You're a huge fan of Matt and Heather's relationship. I imagine, like you were, I thought she was going to die in that scene, 100%. I thought, like, for a fact. So I'm actually pretty shocked that they didn't kill her. But something I do want to ask you is, what do you think about him saying, I love you to Heather? If I'm not mistaken, I haven't gotten this properly fact-checked, but I saw this a couple times. Matt Murdock, Charlie Cox, has never said I love you to anybody in this, in any of the seasons of the show.
During my reaction, I paused it for a second, because in that scene, he both calls her sweetie, they're living together, and he says I love you. And I was like, whoa.
Yes.
So we'll see. I hope she sticks around. I think that's fine. It was crazy that it called her fake. That was a bad move. He's like, all this feels fake. And then there was like an awkward pause. He was like, not you. And I was like, no, the Riz Lord.
Yeah.
You effed up a little bit. Yeah. But no, you don't like them? You just think it's a little too fast?
I have no beef. And I don't even think it's that fast. Like, their relationship, I think, is properly developed. I just do think his relationship with both Karen and Elektra was better and more properly developed in those seasons. And so for him, this is a continuation. This is technically the same character. It does feel weird to hear him say it to her after not having said it to neither Elektra nor Karen.
But how often was he like actually dating Karen? It was just
Totally
season 1, right?
Yeah, only.
And they even had the scene in this one.
No, not even season 1. It's more so season 2.
Oh, but that's the Elektra season too.
Yeah, of course. No, it's...
Yeah, so I never really viewed either of those relationships as particularly healthy or in which he should be saying I love you. Because he even said in episode 1 of this one, is like that would break the friend code. Like they're still kind of flirty, but they're obviously clearly not.
Yeah.
So
I do think Heather is 100% dead. Whether it's this season or next season, I think 100%. And that's why I thought she was going to die in the Muse scene.
Shout out her for shooting that guy, though. That was crazy.
I think that's a problem I have. I think Matt freaked out when he found out that Karen killed Wesley. Matt tried all of his might to make sure that Punisher and Elektra didn't kill anybody. I don't have a problem with him not stopping her, right? Like, I get that, but I'm struggling with the fact that we have not gotten a scene from Matt where Matt is like, she killed someone. Like, I would like a scene like that.
Interesting. Yeah, I thought there might be. It didn't really bother me that there wasn't, because I feel like the Wesley thing and the Punisher thing is definitively different.
Why?
Didn't Karen go out of her way to kill Wesley? And Wesley's also connected to Fisk, which would put her in more danger. She was shooting a serial killer that was literally torturing her, and it was about to kill her and Daredevil. And also Punisher goes down and hunts people. That's not what Heather did. Heather, in self-defense, pulled out a gun and shot a guy. I think if Karen did that, Matt wouldn't have that much of a problem.
You don't think her killing Wesley as he's got her captured in a basement?
I can't remember the exact scene.
He's got her captured in a basement with a gun threatening her life.
What was the conversation?
The context is because she went and visited Fisk's mom. So Fisk finds out about
Karen's
that.
Such an idiot.
Yeah.
She's so ballsy, though.
If Fisk finds out about that, she's 100% dead.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do think that was in self-defense as well. And I don't know, Elektra definitely, she almost killed people that was not out of self-defense. I'll give you that. And same with Punisher. But the Karen, I don't think the Karen and Muse thing is that different, but I understand your point. I just would like a scene. It didn't have to be this episode. He comforted her in the hospital in this episode, but I would love to see a scene in the next 2 episodes where Matt is like,
what was the scene where Matt was freaking out about Karen, though? Because I did have someone comment on mine, because in my reaction to that scene, I literally am like, it takes me a second to realize that Muse is actually dead.
Yeah.
The first thing that I'm worried about is Matt's gonna have a moral quandary about the fact that his girlfriend just had to kill somebody.
Yeah.
And he's all against that and everything. And then I was like, oh wait, Muse is also dead. That's the bigger thing.
Yeah.
And then it didn't happen. But someone commented on my reaction and was like, it's not gonna bother him. Karen killed people, and he was chill with it. So are they wrong?
It's in season 3. Yeah, he freaks out about it. Yeah, he's like, you never have to kill someone. You never do. He's like, he freaks out at her. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but I'm like 90% sure. Something that's a bit of discussion on the internet. A lot of people are being called out for their media illiteracy. Is what do you think happened at the end of the episode with Fisk and Vanessa?
Yeah.
Do you think it was right? Because a lot of people are like, it's at least on Twitter, I've seen people be like, oh my gosh, Fisk is going to find out that Vanessa tried to get him killed and he's going to freak out. And the retweet has like 200,000 views or something. And it's like, media literacy is dead. These people are idiots. I do think it's up to interpretation.
I think so too.
But I did feel very clearly in the moment that him saying, ask Vanessa if she wants me to bring this to go. I thought that was very clearly like they did this together.
Yeah.
But you brought up an excellent point that I would like to say to you. I would like you to say to them.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's left up to interpretation. It was 100% not clear.
Yeah.
But like he could be doing that anyways. Like he could know Vanessa did it and he's just gonna bring her dinner to make her think that he doesn't know or something.
Yeah.
Like that could be taken either way. It's very clear that she sends that guy there.
Yeah.
And Fisk could either have just been prepared.
Yeah.
And expected her to do that, or she could be working with him.
Yeah.
And that's why he's prepared.
Yeah.
But we won't know.
Now that I'm thinking about it, Buck is in the shadows, and it was very clearly prepared. So maybe not. Like, Buck is in the shadows hiding.
But either way, it could be Vanessa working with him or Wilson knowing. Either way, he could still be prepared. It's just, why is he prepared? Is he prepared because he figured out Vanessa was going to turn on him? Or was he prepared because he's working with Vanessa? I still think it could be either way.
Yeah. It's a fun discussion, for sure. And
will she find out about Adam, though? And will she like that? That's a question.
Yes, and I'm very interested to see. So let's get down to the nitty gritty. We talked about it a little bit at the start of this episode, but I do want to talk in detail about the Muse decision in Daredevil Born Again episode 7. I compared it to you just recently, as I compared this show very early on to Star Wars: The Last Jedi, and I do feel like the killing of Muse feels like the killing of Snoke in that movie, and a lot of people hated that decision, and I've seen even to this day people say that is the biggest mistake with the sequel trilogy, and considering the stuff with Rose and the mishandling of Finn and how so many people feel about Luke Skywalker and obviously how I feel and many of us feel about them bringing back Palpatine. I think that's a crazy thing to say that the Snoke decision is the worst thing the sequels do. Yeah. But I have been seeing it more recently. I totally understand anybody that is completely upset about the Muse thing. But in the same way that I felt about Snoke in Force Awakens and Last Jedi, I feel about Muse. Severely undercooked. You could have done a lot more with him. And because you didn't do too much with him, I think using his death for a greater cause about stuff you have cooked, Kylo Ren and his descent into darkness, or Fisk and his anti-vigilante task force and bringing Daredevil back into Daredevilness, I think it's worth it to use this great character with a lot of fun aspects of him in the comics, to use him as a device, fake us out, make us think that he's the main villain of the show. I mean, hell, it's his face on our mug logo instead of Kingpin. You know what I'm saying? We opted for Muse because in the marketing, he was so in the marketing. But he was really undercooked. You didn't.
Are they sending us those hoodies, by the way?
Yeah, I know. It's taken forever. It's really frustrating.
We're supposed to have them already.
I know.
Like be wearing them.
I know, and I emailed them, and they haven't responded to me. I'll email them again.
But they're available for everyone.
Everybody can buy them, yes. But we bought them, and for whatever reason, they haven't shipped yet. I don't understand.
But it's been weeks.
We bought a lot, and it's frustrating because I wanted to have certain stuff ahead of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really frustrating. Back to Muse.
We'll do that off camera.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think there's two things, like
yes,
I said
please.
before. Like you're saying, killing off the character that's undercooked to serve a greater purpose.
Yes.
Could be a good thing.
Yeah.
And the other option is somehow utilizing this death or whatever and revitalizing the character some way. There's two options for that, and I think they could do something good with either. I personally want the other because I think the character's good enough to keep around. Like, and yes, he's undercooked, but if you bring him back and use him for something that's not just launching something else, I think it could still be good. I understand the comparison, though.
The discussion about Muse coming back is interesting, though. I personally don't think they're bringing back Muse.
I have no idea how they would. They haven't talked about him having powers like literally
at all, and they shot him in the chest like 15 times. Like she emptied the clip on him. Right. So I don't know how you could bring him back, but this is more
MCU-y.
This is more MCU-y and like what's the word? Supernatural than the Netflix show was, and the Netflix show brought people back to life a couple of times. Elektra a couple of times, Nobu a couple of times. Like
it's definitely possible.
The Hand plot is about zombies.
Yeah.
So I could see them bringing them back, but bringing him back.
He teams up with, I mean, he's Luke Cage and Jessica Jones and Iron Fist. There's some stuff in there.
Yeah, so I don't think they'll bring him back, but if they do, that'd be interesting. Something that I really want them to do if they bring him back. I completely agree with you. Obviously, we want him to have his powers.
Yeah.
If you bring him back, you have to justify that somehow, include the magic in him coming back to life, make it so that he has those powers. That's a no-brainer for me. The second no-brainer for me is I didn't have a problem with it in this current iteration, and I wasn't going to complain about it last episode, but Muse is much mouthier in the comics than he is in this show. For example, the scene of the girls going up to him and taking a picture with him, straight from the comics. 2 girls ask him for a selfie.
Yeah.
And what's his response in this show?
He just looks at him.
Looks at them and then kills them, right? He kills them in the comics as well. But he's like, and they're like, hey, can we get a selfie with you? You're Muse, right? And he's like, you see me writing my name? I'm not taking credit for somebody else's work. That'd be illegal. and then they're like, oh my gosh, can we get, and he's like, of course, anything for my fans. And then he kills them. But it's kind of, I saw Alex Coleman comparing him to Joker. He is more Joker-ish. So if he does come back, I don't necessarily need you to take it up a notch with craziness. I don't think you need to take it up a notch with his fighting. I'm fine with the Taekwondo explanation. Whatever. Take it up a notch with his mouthiness. Because the actor gave a great performance, and I'm sure he could give a Cameron Monaghan
I'm sure they'll have him talking more now since they revealed him and everything. Because, again, the conversation... They had...
If they bring him back.
The reason it's an 8 out of 10 is because, like, I still care about a bunch of the subplots. I care about a lot of the stuff that's going on, and a lot of those scenes were good. Like the scene with him talking to her and being creepy and cutting her arm and using his blood to draw the thing was solid. I think, again, it could have been better if we had a little bit more lead up.
Absolutely.
But it was still a good scene. And then him, I don't know if you see my reaction yet, but I was literally like, when she was about to kill her, I was like, Matt, bust through the door right now.
Yes.
Matt busted, and then he literally busts through the window. I love that whole fight scene. You really liked
I want to get to that.
The Daniel scene.
The Daniel scene with BB Yorick is potentially, it's not. My favorite scene in the show so far is the end of episode 2. And then my second favorite scene in the show is the Punisher scene. Those 2 scenes are fabulous. But probably my third favorite scene in the show, which really helps my rating for this episode, is the Daniel BB Yorick scene. It's the first time I felt like we've got a replacement for Wesley. Finally, he is so good in that scene. Young Mr. Gandolfini as Daniel is fabulous in that scene. He is so sinister, and he cut the shit. You played me, and now I'm gonna play you.
Yeah.
He threatens her very
she's
well.
like, "Are you threatening me?" And he's like, "No." But your life can be good or it can be terrible. I was like, that's a threat.
It's so good. I thought his acting was excellent. I think that the way they've cooked, that's not an undercooked storyline that hasn't gotten much time to shine. We've gotten like 2 or 3 scenes with them, but it's so clear what both of their intentions are.
Yeah, that's another dynamic that I like.
Fisk driving Daniel to become a worse person because he idolizes Fisk, who is descending into a worse person again, is such a fun dynamic.
I'm so excited for the last 2 episodes.
I
really am.
loved that. I loved it.
I
loved it. It's my favorite scene in the show since the Punisher scene. I loved that. And I don't think enough people are going to talk about it because it is these 2 smaller roles in the show. But I loved that. Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll just have to see.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll have much more to talk about in the next couple episodes. Is there anything on your wish list?
Obviously, like, you know, there's still a lot, and some of these might carry over to season 2, and that would be fine.
Yep.
But like the Punisher stuff and the cops, you know, something with Muse. I don't know. I mean, something with Vanessa finding out. Or does he kill Adam by the, you know, he's got, I don't think the Adam storyline will carry over to season 2. So he's either dead or Vanessa finds him and maybe Vanessa kills him and then she's like, I love you, Fisk. Because she is seeing the underworld be like, yo, Fisk is weak now. It was better with you.
Yes.
And she loves that. You know what I mean?
Very clearly loves that.
So something wrapping up there. I don't think, like, Matt and Fisk are going to fight. Maybe they will. I don't know.
I don't know how you wrap all of this up. It's kind of my problem that I had for the last couple of weeks, which is fine. I know you disagree with me on, but you know my complaint. It is like one of those MCU shows where I feel like you had too many threads and now you need to wrap them up before episode 6, in this case episode 9, but the other shows it's episode 6, where it's just like, I don't know how we're going to wrap all this up. But this show does have the benefit of something that none of the MCU shows that I'm talking about right now have, which is a guaranteed season 2 because it's currently filming right now. So I think I'm going to, if this show ends on cliffhangers for any storylines, let alone multiple storylines, I don't think I'm going to care too much. And I'm just going to be excited for the new team that has worked on some of the best stuff in this show so far. I'm excited for that new team to handle those storylines in a season 2. And I don't think I'm going to particularly call out the people the same way that I called out them in at the start of season 1 of Daredevil Born Again until I've seen season 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, obviously, all my rankings have been pretty high. I've been enjoying it a lot. There are a lot of threads. I just think all the threads are just way better than any of the other threads in a lot of the other MCU shows. That's why I think it's okay. And they're not as like necessarily confusing or convoluted as like Loki season 2, right? So I just hope they stick the landing, because it could be like, because there are a lot of threads and I totally get it, but like they could very easily fumble the ending, and that would suck for me, because I love. You're loving this show. I love stuff ending well.
Oh, of course, it's big for you.
Yeah. So hopefully they stick the landing. But we'll just have to see.
We will. We're in such a question mark time right now, such an unknown time. But we appreciate you tuning into the Patreon every single week to tell us what you think about Daredevil Born Again. Please let us know what you thought of episode 7. I'm so fascinated to hear all of your opinions. Tell us if I've been right all season, you've been right all season.
A lot of
mixture
people,
of both.
I think a lot of people were agreeing with us, where it's like, yeah, the episode was like good. There's some stuff that whatever, but like, we're just like a question mark on the Muse thing. Like, should we hate it? Should we like it? It seems a little weird. So, yeah, I get it.
You know me. I've felt justified as, I've been very mean to you about my justifications, how I've been feeling all season long, because of, how I felt walking out of the premiere, and then our argument about it after episodes 1 and 2, and then just seeing the public's reaction week to week to week, because I was so sure that this would happen. And now that I feel like it's happened, where finally things are going on and people are like, wait a second, what's going on? I do kind of feel bad for you.
Why?
I'm hoping that everything works out.
I mean, I would love the show to the end.
Yeah.
But obviously I'll call it out if I think it's bad.
Yeah.
I think the Muse thing was bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it would suck to enjoy a show for 7 episodes and then them like totally screw it up for 2 episodes.
As much as you've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Because like, let's be clear, like this is a lot, kind of how I feel about WandaVision, right? WandaVision was like my favorite thing for like 7 episodes, and then 8 and 9 I was just like,
yeah, that would suck,
really disappointed.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm telling you. If we had the podcast when WandaVision was coming out, I think around episode 3 I was like, this is the best MCU project ever. I think I was saying things like that, which is kind of how, not exactly how you were, but you were very high on this show. It would be unfortunate for it to wrap up badly, but hopefully Punisher stuff or something, or bring some people back. It'll be awesome. We'll see. Love you, buddy.
Love you too. Daredevil Born Again, episode 8.
We're on episode 8?
I think so. I titled last week's episode episode 8, and then cooked me because it was episode 7.
Okay, so episode 8 is this one. Okay.
That's my bad.
Here are our scores for episode 8 of Daredevil Born Again on 3. Mm-hmm. 3, 2, 1.
9.
10 out of 10.
Yeah, it's good.
So it was easily the best episode of the show so far for me.
Cool.
I was enraptured in all of it. I have been Mr. Critical of the new characters. Well, Kirsten has a wonderful moment at the start of this episode. Cherry gets a moment I don't hate. I thought everybody was good. The supporting characters. Daniel continues to impress me as one of my favorite characters. BB Urich had all of her best moments in this episode.
Uh-huh.
The police commissioner had a great moment.
Uh-huh.
The crooked cop that we all hate had another moment that makes us all hate him.
Crazy, by the way.
Every single new character I felt was good to great in this episode.
Yeah.
And The returning characters, let's just list them all. Matt Murdock, Daredevil, Wilson Fisk, Kingpin, and Vanessa were, obviously they're the highlights in the original show. They're the highlights of this episode. They were all fabulous. It was so great to see the return of Bullseye in epic fashion. Yep, we will get to that in a minute. And I am now so interested in where we're going.
Yeah, I've been interested the whole time, but I also, in this episode, that didn't change for me. I got to the end and I was like, this is how... I've said this about TV shows. I just don't want to watch the next episode. I struggle with that.
Yeah.
This show is making me want to watch the next episodes, and I think that's what makes it a good show. Mm-hmm. That's how you know you have a good show, is if people are wanting the next episodes. What happened to this thing?
I actually think I gave you mine.
Yeah, I don't like this.
We'll switch after. I've got no problem with mine.
This one isn't screwed in all the way. Yeah. It's wonky.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah, I gave you mine. Sorry.
It's throwing me. You threw off my groove.
I'm sorry.
You get that reference?
No. I assume Emperor's New Groove?
Yes.
But I only know that from context clues.
Unbelievable. Yeah, so to your point, all the side characters in this episode are great. And like one of the complaints you and some people have had is that side characters aren't as good as some of the ones in the original.
They're still not.
Sure, that's fine. But like, in my opinion, a lot of them are. I think BB has been interesting the whole time, and then she gets even better in this episode. I think Daniel has been interesting the whole time, and he gets even better in this episode. Some of them are not, like Kirsten and Cherry.
Yeah.
But if everyone else in the show is interesting, and like the main points of the show, which are Fisk and Vanessa, their relationship, and Daredevil and Heather's relationship, and Daredevil, Matt's relationship with Daredevil, and Fisk's relationship with Kingpin, if all of that is 10 out of 10, and some of the side characters like BB and Daniel are also great, it just personally does not bother me that Cherry isn't also getting it. The only one that has bothered me that should have gotten more time is Muse. I will totally agree on that one. That one I'll give you, and I hope they somehow fix that. But yeah, this episode's great. I was interested the whole time, and obviously I'm interested to see what happens next. The way they shot some of the stuff at the end, the whole dance sequence with Matt and Heather and then Vanessa and Kingpin, where Kingpin's talking to him while they're dancing and he's using his power.
Love it.
And then that's how he figures out about Vanessa. And then he cuts in. Oh, just beautiful.
Love it.
Beautiful.
So good.
Heather and Matt are having some problems.
Doesn't surprise me. She is dead.
You think she's going to die?
100%. Heather is as dead as a doornail. I said it last episode. I will continue to say it until they kill her.
Well, you said Kingpin was going to kill Vanessa, too.
I did, and I don't think he's going to anymore, which is fine. It was a theory I had.
Oh, we got to talk about... Okay, sorry.
No, we will get to it. There's a lot of stuff. This will be our longest review of an episode of Daredevil because there is just so much to talk about that we have so much to unpack. What would you like to start with?
So, yeah, let's talk about the Vanessa Adam Kingpin thing.
Yes.
So, one of the complaints at the beginning that you had was Kingpin wasn't Kingpin. Yep. I obviously disagreed.
Yeah.
He's obviously at least somewhat back. There's still some of him, whatever. But, like, him torturing and keeping this Adam guy, what are the complaints? I'm not going to kill him. He's in couples therapy. That's not Kingpin. He literally is like, I kept my word. I didn't kill him. I just kept him in this dungeon for so long. And I've always said Vanessa loves when he's like this. As soon as he was taking her down there, I was like, oh, she's going to eat this up. And I was like, she's going to kill him. And that's exactly what happened.
I also called that as well. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Because that's what she likes.
Yeah.
She's totally killed this side chick dude if you're being Kingpin, you know what I mean?
And now she is more attracted to him like season 3. And that's how she's acting at the dance.
And in the couples, she goes to Heather and she's like, we figured it out. And there's always been parallels between them and Heather and Matt and obviously Kingpin and Daredevil and Matt and Fisk and all that stuff. So the fact that they figured out their couple situation at the same time Matt and Heather are having fights, cool. Very interesting.
Yes, yeah. I like it a lot. I loved Matt's reaction to Buck coming with the invite personally. I loved that scene. It was my favorite scene from the Matt and Heather relationship all season because of course he would react like he's only hired you as a therapist to get to me. Of course he would react that way, and of course her not knowing that he's Daredevil would be like, are you psycho?
Yeah.
Like, I loved that. I thought that was great.
It's tough. He can't really explain why. He's just like, you got to trust me. And the fact that they're having all these other problems, she's just not going to right now.
She's like, you're a drug addict.
Yeah, she's like, well, this is not about you. And he's like, it totally is.
Yep.
But also the fact that she really pissed me off this episode, comparing Daredevil to Muse. Frick you. You would not be alive. Okay, Muse killed 61 people and used their blood in paintings, and Daredevil saved your life, and you're going to act like they're the same person? Frick you. Frick you. And that must suck for Matt, by the way. That really annoyed me.
I was like, whoa, that's mean.
Oh, and okay, when he goes back to Josie's bar.
Yeah.
And Cherry's there being a moron, like Cherry does.
Of course.
But then he starts to figure out
that was my favorite moment of the whole season.
That
and
Foggy.
I don't know what any of that means. Like, when it showed Kirsten, I was like, Kirsten killed Foggy.
I was like, I said, you'll see it in my reaction. I was like, is Kirsten evil?
And Rachel's like, no. Like, we're going to the next scene. And Rachel's like, no. Pause. Explain to me why you're freaking out. Explain to me what happened. And I'm like, I don't know what happened, but it's the first time that I've been interested in this show in a month. Because, not actually, but like, it's the most interested I've been in the shows the entire time. Because, again, I've been saying this since episode 1. You need such a good reason for Bullseye to kill Foggy. Because, now I've seen this theory a little bit, is that Bullseye's just being petty because Foggy does dupe him and beat him in season 3 with the selfie that he takes in season 3. But it was like, I don't know if he's killing him over that.
Someone even said that this episode. They were like, this guy was just settling a score. He was crazy. Like, it was Kirsten
But it doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's not a good enough explanation.
That's not a good... And when they said that, I was upset. But then he's at the bar, and he's realizing, I don't know what it means that he was drinking something different. I don't know what this means. But it means that Bullseye, and now we know Vanessa, killed Foggy for a reason. And I guarantee you, Vanessa didn't kill him because of Matt.
No,
which is so good.
They said Matt is starting to realize, because he's drinking this thing, that he's celebrating the case that he's about to win. So whoever that guy was on the phone that Bullseye killed was going to help him win a case that was somehow connected to Vanessa or something.
Yes.
And as soon as they brought it up, when the little guy comes over, he's like, Bullseye escaped. You could see how worried Vanessa was.
Yes.
Yes, it's all good. It's all good. So I literally, when Matt was like, he wasn't drinking that, and then you're like, and then it starts the ball rolling of like, oh, we're about to start figuring this out. And I literally got chills. I was like, yes. Because people were worried that like, that Fox, and that's why I always said, just like wait and watch the rest of the show. Again, they might not have a good enough explanation.
Correct.
But they are tying it together. They started the show with this, and then they're going to end the show with this. I think that's really cool.
It is really cool. But again, it is frustrating that this could have been the whole show. And obviously, as you know, for me, I'm not a big fan of a lot of the stuff in the middle, and I'm certainly not a fan at the start. So it is frustrating to me. It's like this is the most interesting stuff in the show for me by far, and for you it seems to be very interesting. Maybe you found other Muse stuff more interesting, but you didn't love how that resolved. It's just like, God, this is what we could have been doing the whole time. But I give this show so much grace because of the overhaul. And this is a different creative team that made this episode and the first 2 episodes than the rest of the show.
Yeah, obviously I found all of it interesting. I think the Muse stuff was really interesting. And the way that they're using both Fisk and Muse and Daredevil to tell the story of Foggy and to tell the story of Fisk and Matt being born again, I think it has all been very interesting. Yeah, obviously they could have been doing this the whole show. I think they're somewhat using this to introduce Muse, and then maybe they'll do more with him in season 2, because obviously he's confirmed somehow, I don't know, for season 2. But using him in the middle as kind of a placeholder, and then that's his introduction, and then doing more with him in season 2, I think would be really, really cool. And then bookending the season with Foggy death and then why Foggy died. I think all of that I'm fine with all of that. Yeah.
About the confirming Muse for season 2, I've also seen that. I've also seen that they've confirmed both Karen and Foggy to return. I know that we have on-set leaked photos of Deborah Ann Wool as Karen back. Great. I guess Foggy in flashbacks or he faked his death. Doesn't matter to me. We'll see how that goes. Matthew Lillard has been confirmed for season 2. Is there any chance that he is a copycat Muse with the actual powers? I think that would be great.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
with
Matthew.
Great That would be great casting. But we'll see. He might just be an adversarial lawyer. We have no idea.
Yeah.
But obviously, there's much more for us to talk about in this episode. Obviously, we've been getting into spoilers, but obviously, spoiler warning as always for Daredevil Born Again. The tooth.
Yeah.
Loved that.
As soon as you heard the noise, I was like, oh, this guy's dead. I loved it.
As Rachel is my witness, as soon as he slammed his head against the table, I thought, nope, that's bad. That's bad. That's bad. And then obviously...
So, Bullseye's, Poindexter's plan was to, like, get Matt to help him get out or be safe. Because he was like, if you get me out, I'll tell you. That's kind of a long shot. That's what he said.
Yeah. I chalk it up to him.
He's scared.
Him just trying to get out.
Yeah.
Like trying anything to get out.
Yeah.
But as soon as he gets lifted up from getting his head smashed in the table, he's smiling. And it's like, thank you, Matt. So clearly the tooth broke there.
Yeah.
So, love that.
Yeah. No. Perfect use of his powers.
Awesome use of his powers. How did you feel about Wilson Bethel's performance in this episode?
Fine. What do you mean?
It was a tad different than I had expected. He was a little bit more grounded. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Less crazy than I feel like he usually is.
Yeah, sure.
Right, and they did his deranged so perfectly in the first episode with the fixing of the light bulb and the killing of the fly and then the score. I didn't really get that. And I feel like even when they were putting him from solitary confinement into Gen Pop, he was like a little too scared for me. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? Like he was a little bit like,
I'm not supposed to be here.
I'm not supposed to be here. Like a little bit too much like that where it's like, I don't.
So, yeah, sure. Anything else about that?
No, go.
In this episode,
yes,
he is trying to shoot someone.
Yes.
And that someone is Fisk.
Yes.
Obviously, he tries to like kill him in season 3, right?
Yes.
So is it just the same reason? Like, why is that his first thought is to break out and kill him?
Yeah.
Like,
so to me, I think it's pretty clear.
Also, Mayor Fisk obviously was the one who transferred him to try to get him killed.
Right. So to me, it's pretty clear, which is Ashley or whatever her name was, Madison something, the girl from season 3
that he's obsessed with.
That's his North Star.
Right.
And Fisk killed her. Right.
Yeah.
That's enough for a deranged person like Bullseye to go after Fisk until Fisk is dead. That makes perfect sense to me. And I loved that this is now the second time that he has crashed a party hosted by Fisk and Vanessa. That fun and tried to kill them. Fun. I like that. Right. I think he was clearly trying to kill Fisk because of the girl from season 3 and the fact that now Fisk has tried to get him killed multiple times. Fisk did break his back, which is why the adamantium is in his skeleton, and which we haven't seen yet, but I imagine causes him pain. And then same thing with now moving him into Gen Pop. Specifically, Mayor Fisk did that. He's trying to get revenge for that as well. And I assume he was planning on killing Fisk and then Vanessa. Right? I didn't even think twice that he would have killed both of them.
I thought he was going to just kill Vanessa.
Frankly, yes. I thought he was going to kill Vanessa, which would have been awesome. But also, I thought he was going to kill Heather. Yeah. Because Kingpin was dancing with Heather.
Yep.
And I thought he would see the person Fisk is dancing with and kill her. Just bang.
Yeah.
I thought that's what was going to happen. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we're talking about it. What do you think about Matt jumping in the way?
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Like, why was it to save? Like, I need to go back and watch it. Was he trying to like pull Heather out of the way, and then he just got in the way? Was he like trying to save Fisk? Was it just like a reactionary thing? I didn't really think about it too deeply.
Yeah,
just happened.
Yeah.
What do you think?
The best explanation we can get is he's not trying to save Fisk, but he's trying to get more information out of Fisk. Maybe, but otherwise I don't really understand it. I think it's a great cliffhanger, and I'm very excited to see what happens, and I'm sure he's going to die. And then obviously he's going to be brought back to life and hence born again. Right. He's definitely going to flatline, 100%. He got shot in the same place that Foggy did, and that's going to make for a great scene. Maybe,
did he?
Yeah,
I thought it was way more shouldery.
No, he's cooked. He's dead. He's 100% dead. But they're going to resuscitate him, and there's going to be some Foggy scene. He's going to see Foggy. It's going to be wonderful. I'm just interested. It was a fun cliffhanger, but it is the most puzzling part of the episode for me. You with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't care. I've enjoyed it. I enjoyed that episode so much. Like I'm not saying that's a negative. It's just puzzling to me. That's a question I need answered. For sure.
Another part of the episode that I really, really liked was Matt talking to Kirsten in the hallway and him just like going off. Because it was like, yeah, like this is such a great monologue recap of what this guy's been through after he just went off on this guy for lying. And he was just like, it describes the whole season pretty much why Daredevil is needed and why, you know, we put Fisk away and it didn't matter. We put Poindexter and now he's in Gin Pop and we don't know what's going to happen with that. And, you know, we saved Hector Ayala, but it didn't stop him from getting shot, which are the same cops who are on this task force who are also breaking all these laws. Yep. And it was just like, yeah, you're so right. And we're not serving justice, we're babysitting chaos. Banger line. I really liked that monologue. And poor Kirsten is having to deal with a really effed up Matt right now. And so is Heather. But it was a good representation of what he's gone through this season and what the story is with him.
I was a tad frustrated with him in that monologue, though. While I agree with everything that you're saying, and of course the frustration has boiled to a point in that scene, I was just like, come on, Matt, we need to pay the firm's bills. Like, just don't tell this guy he's lying to his face right now, please.
Guy's scamming teachers. I don't freaking care.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's effed up.
Yeah. No, great episode.
Really good.
One more. I'm gonna be so sad.
But they're filming season 2 right now.
I know, but I'm gonna be so sad.
2027 is getting crazier by the millisecond.
I've gotta wait a year and a half.
We got Daredevil Born Again season 2. Avengers Secret Wars.
Beyond
the Spider-Verse are all 2027. So, frig. I thought that was gonna be our off year. We were gonna be able to relax.
Good stuff. Glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's between this or the bank heist episode for my favorite, but I think it's clearly this one. Even though I guess that episode was like cleaner, this episode, it's just from start to finish, everything intrigued me, everything excited me, and I too am upset that the show is ending next week. The season is ending next week, but there are quite a few of unresolved threads, and I am at a point where I'm like, what's going to remain unresolved for next season? There's no way we get an explanation for Foggy next episode.
Why not?
Because you have to resuscitate Daredevil. You got to resuscitate Daredevil, and then you got to take down the task force. There's no way the task force is going to be the overarching threat.
You don't think they could? They start the explanation in this episode and then they finish it next episode, and that's how they end the season?
Maybe. That would be great, but then you're leaving... I guess the Muse thread isn't unsettled, but you and I both think it's going to be something else?
I think that might be a cliffhanger that leads into...
Season 2.
Yeah. I think the main thing... I don't think the task force is like a whole storyline that has to be resolved. I think that's just part of Fisk being evil. I think one thing that... Well, in conjunction with that, I think, the Frank Castle...
Yeah.
I think that's the only one that really is like, I guess we might have to wait on that, and that's a little annoying, but everything else.
I think we're going to be waiting on some stuff. Because how long are these episodes? This was the longest episode. It was 50 minutes, right? So it's like...
Flew by the way.
Yeah, I think so too. But it was like, I don't know how much they're going to be able to fit into the next episode that's going to...
Yeah, I think they'll probably focus on the Foggy Poindexter thing. And then, like Frank's gonna show up, and then we're gonna take down the task force. Really?
I think so.
That'd be cool.
Like I would be so much more surprised
if he doesn't.
I would be more surprised if Frank doesn't show up to take the task force down than if Bullseye isn't in episode 9 at all. I'd be more surprised if Frank wasn't in the episode than Bullseye. I kind of feel like that thread is a thread for next season. Because this is the overhaul team. You got to consider that. Like, this episode was an overhaul episode. This entire episode was shot like 6 months ago, when the rest of the show was shot like a year and a half to 2 years ago. like Muse and all that, and Kirsten, everything with them is from before. This is all new stuff that they've added.
Maybe.
So my point is it's like that team they don't want to rush Bullseye, Vanessa, Kingpin, which frankly, I don't want them to rush that. They're going to conclude all of the storylines that I didn't really care about that you loved. No problem. I'm happy for you. But all the storylines that I didn't care about and many Daredevil fans didn't care about because they didn't feel like the same show to us. And then the same show will be back with season 2 is what I'm expecting. I could be wrong. I've been wrong a bunch. I thought Kingpin was going to kill Vanessa. I thought plenty of things were going to happen that didn't happen. I didn't think they had the balls to kill Foggy when that was a rumor. I was like, there's no way they're going to kill Foggy. And then they did. So, I could be totally wrong, but that's my theory. It's my job to give my theory, and that's my theory. What's your theory? What do you think is happening next episode? You got to put $100 on roulette.
Well, I just did that a lot, and it didn't work out for me.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, I think there's some sort of cliffhanger with Muse.
Maybe. I kind of think he's done.
I think they'll wrap everything else up, and then it's kind of one of those things where it's like, oh, the episode's over, and then we'll get
after credits or something.
Yeah, maybe something like that.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I think maybe just to. So you're thinking it's Frank. I'll go. I think it's more Bullseye and the Foggy reveal.
That'd be so good. Oh, I want you to be
and
right.
Vanessa. And I think Vanessa. I think her reasoning for it might be a little shady, even to Fisk. I think that might. I don't know.
Interesting. You think that causes a riff?
Yeah, because she did it without telling him.
But he was MIA.
You're right. We'll see.
I'm interested. And it solves so many problems. By the way, that conversation solved so many problems that I had with this show. It wouldn't make any sense for Fisk to hire Bullseye because he killed Ashley or whatever her name is.
Yeah.
And like Vanessa, either she could say she's not associated with Fisk at all or whatever. She could give any reason for killing Foggy. And if she's not killing Foggy because of Matt, that also solves that problem. It's just so good. That's so perfect.
Yes.
That case, you need a good explanation for the case. Now, is that guy dead? I don't think that guy was dead. I don't think that guy's dead.
The guy that was in Foggy's apartment?
Mm-hmm.
Is that not the whole point?
You remember he calls Foggy?
They didn't show it, but like he breaks in, he's freaking out, he breaks in and you hear like crashes and stuff.
Correct, but then he calls Foggy and he's like, I'm so sorry, Foggy, I told him where you were. He says that to Foggy right before Foggy dies.
Oh, yeah, he was using that guy to get to Foggy.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I don't think that guy is the
No,
guy
yeah,
that
you're right,
mattered.
you're right,
But
you're
that
right,
guy is definitely involved with the Vanessa thing.
Right.
Which would have put Vanessa away or something, which is really exciting.
Or maybe he's not. Maybe Foggy was celebrating a different case. And this guy and Bullseye only used this guy to find out where Foggy was, and he doesn't have anything to do with Vanessa. That's possible.
Also true. But then another case that Foggy did had to do with Vanessa.
Correct.
I don't care.
Dude, she shot Adam in the head.
Yeah.
Excellent.
No, that was good. And then immediately to cut to Rabbit in a snowstorm, and then immediately cut to them embracing with him in the middle. Great. All that's great. So good.
They're freaky, dude. That makeup sex was crazy after she shot him in the head.
I was going to say...
He's like, I cannot be if I'm not with you or whatever. I was like, dang. Shot him in the head.
I was going to say he beats the shit out of her, but no. She beats the shit out of him.
Yeah.
100%.
And he's into it.
She's
into it.
She's in a black leather thing, and she's just kicking him in the balls a bunch of times.
He's only got thing for his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
After she killed... That's the best they've ever had.
I agree.
Yeah. Good for them. Happy for Fisk. Happy for him.
I'm rooting for that guy. How do you think their relationship is going to be now that Matt saved his life?
Whose relationship?
Kingpin and Daredevil. I love that. This is great. That's so good. You don't like that?
No, I just didn't think about it. It'd be
Yeah.
interesting.
Very, very interesting. All right, well, you let us know what you think about episode 8 of Daredevil Born Again. And number one thing, please let us know your theories. What do you guys think is going to be happening? I'm very interested to see what happens, and obviously so are you.
As am I, Robert.
Now, moving on to your other favorite thing in the world.
Yeah.
We have to start with our reviews of the final episode.
The finale.
Which this will be going on Patreon.
Daredevil,
earlier.
Born Again spoilers. We're just like, I'm just saying it. Like, if you don't, we're talking about the finale. We're talking about the show. We're talking about all Daredevil ever. So lock in.
Yeah, watch all of Daredevil Born Again, catch up, and then come watch this.
Yeah.
But we're going to start with the finale, and this was made available the day after the finale premiered on Tuesday night. This was available to our patrons on Wednesday.
Yep. So everything from here to the end of the episode, they probably have gotten.
Correct.
Yeah.
They got not till the end of the episode. The actual review of the show, probably not.
I say give it to them.
Okay, then the Patreon got everything. Everything. All right. Here are our scores for the finale episode of Daredevil Born Again. Just the episode, that's what we're talking about right now. None of this, not full season. We'll give those thoughts after, okay?
Sure.
3, 2, 1.
8.5?
I'm at a 7.
Sure.
But,
I want to see if your complaint is the one that most people have and the one that I also have that just doesn't bother me quite as much.
Please.
No, go.
I would love to give you the floor. I kind of have questions for you.
No, go. I want to hear what you say. I want to listen.
I just, the show hasn't really gotten me. We've known this the whole show, that there have been moments where I've been really high on the show. Mm-hmm. Obviously, moments where I've been really low on the show. Muse's introduction, for example, Kingpin doing the therapy, whatever. And it's just, I'm not giving this a 7 out of 10 because I think it was a bad episode. 7 out of 10 is 2 points higher than mid. Mm-hmm. But it just didn't do. There are highs in this episode that we'll get to, and there are lows in this episode that we'll get to. That it's just it didn't do anything breathtakingly good or breathtakingly bad for me. It's just kind of a run-of-the-mill episode for me, personally. I do have some complaints, and I do have some positives. Positive, there's a Kingpin scene in here that is really, really strong. Another positive, Daniel continues to be my new favorite character, my favorite new character. Mm-hmm. He is so strong in that meeting with the council members. Mm-hmm. I think Buck gets a lot of time to shine in this episode. I think the stuff that they are leading towards the future is very interesting. Mm-hmm. But I have a problem that I think most of the internet has, which is a problem that I never had with the original show, which is I think Daredevil Born Again has gotten too big and too connected to the MCU for it to not acknowledge other things.
Sure.
And for other things to not acknowledge it. We have a statewide or Manhattan-wide blackout of New York City. And there's not even an acknowledgement of Spider-Man saving the day for anybody, Doctor Strange saving the day for anybody, and this show does tee up what we hope will be a phenomenal second season, right? There's been a lot of complaints about the overhaul, pre-overhaul, post-overhaul. This episode tried to set everything back to a status quo for the second season, which I'm excited for. But as we see in the trailers, Sentry has taken over New York City in Thunderbolts. How is that? Is Mayor Fisk not going to show up in that? Are they not going to acknowledge the events of Thunderbolts in Daredevil Born Again? You know what I'm saying? I think that in the previous seasons of Daredevil, the problems have been the Hand, which was solved by the Defenders, or Kingpin's buying real estate and he's a bad guy and should go to jail, or Kingpin's taken over the FBI. Two small problems to deal with them with even Doctor Strange or Spider-Man. But a statewide blackout and now an 8 p.m. curfew and all vigilantes are the enemies of the state, that would absolutely include Spider-Man. Maybe wouldn't include Doctor Strange, but it should. I've got some problems there. That's a problem I have.
Yeah, I mean, the whole him gathering an army thing at the end and it being specifically about vigilantes and in New York and him mentioning Spider-Man early in the season, hopefully, it seems like they should. It doesn't bother me too much, but because of those reasons, it being specifically about masked vigilantes, and he mentioned Spider-Man, and it's in New York, and like you said, it's a bigger problem. It is a blackout. Yeah, I'm sure Spider-Man is out there doing something. They're just not showing it to us, and that doesn't bother me too terribly much. Are you wanting a cameo? What are you wanting?
I don't know what I want. I just need something. I think that the problem has gotten too big to not acknowledge. That Doctor
but how?
Strange would be doing something. You know what I'm saying? Like Doctor Strange would be doing something. Spider-Man would be doing something. Sure, I know legally it's a problem. Like you can't have him in the show, so maybe you mention him or something. But yeah, do something. I do need you to do something because it's kind of the point. This was a criticism that some people had about the Penguin, where the Penguin
Right, the Batman
got too large scale, where Batman should have intervened. That's kind of how I feel about this, where it's like, what, Spider-Man sleeping on the job? What are we doing here? Yeah. But that is a legal problem. Like, he can't show up legally.
Show, right.
But then have Doctor Strange show up. Have somebody show up. The biggest cameos of the show cannot be Swordsman and Kamala Khan's dad.
Yeah.
Miss Marvel. Like, have somebody, like, somebody's got to be doing something.
Yeah, they might have some of that in season 2. I don't know. I understand the connection there and wanting to see some of it, but I just don't think just because they're not showing it doesn't mean it's not like happening. You know what I mean? Like New York's a large place. We're focused on Daredevil.
Sure.
But
what's your big problem? Because that's not your big problem. I thought that was your big problem. With the finale.
Yeah. So the problem with the finale was they do blue ball the F out of us.
Yep.
Quite a lot.
Yep.
Like a lot of people were wanting certain things, and one of those things was like Frank confronting those people. So we kind of get that. We get that in the apartment fight, and then we get it a little bit at the end. He has a speech with him or whatever. But other than that, like to have a finale that's just like we're solving the Foggy thing, we're figuring out the Red Hook, Kingpin's going crazy, Punisher gets taken, blah, 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 and it all leads to Karen and Matt literally outside, and he's about to go in or whatever, and he's like, I need an army. And then the episode ends after that. It's like, okay, all right. That's probably one of my only main problems where it's like, I like the cliffhangers. I like Red Hook being a thing and the Kingpin taking over and threatening the council and maybe even Punisher being taken and like all these cliffhangers leading to episode 2. And I know that we got a big little fight scene in the apartment, but I felt like I needed one more thing where it's like we solve maybe the Foggy thing a little bit more, or take down part of Red Hook but not all of it with one more. Are we going and we save Frank, but then he still has the rest of Red Hook? So like I felt like there was like they were leading us to one more thing, and then they didn't give it to us. And like the second half of the finale was like, I love all these cliffhangers, but I am a little blue balled by the fact that Daredevil was like, literally, I'm about to go in, and he was like, I need an army, and then the army's like 5 old cops, and then the season ends. You know what I mean? Yeah.
A lot of people are complaining that the Defenders weren't in there.
Yeah, I expected somebody. You know, I know Spider-Man probably wasn't going to show up, but like, I was like, who's going to be?
Bishop is in New York. It's just like a lot of heroes in New York.
Yeah.
I would like to get into some cons.
Okay.
That I have, that I know you will not have or don't have.
Okay.
Even though I like the scene and I like the violence of him crushing his head, I was sad that they killed the police commissioner because I was really looking forward to the future of his relationship with BB.
Yeah.
I was disappointed in that because I thought that was a really interesting part of the reason why I gave episode 8 of Daredevil Born Again a 10 out of 10 was because I thought finally they were setting up so many strong things, which I knew weren't all going to be resolved. But I thought one of the strongest was BB creating a network within Fisk's intelligence. And I thought, oh my gosh, now the commissioner is working with Sheila. This is great. Like now Sheila's going to be working with BB and this and that. And no.
She turned
It's immediately
crazy.
over. And the police commissioner, was one of my favorite new characters. So even though I do like the violence of the scene, and I do appreciate Disney going full, it's probably the most violent moment in any Daredevil episode ever. It's more violent than the car decapitation. It's more violent than a lot of stuff that the original show did. So I appreciate them going the extra mile. I was just disappointed with the character they chose to do that because I thought that we had an interesting storyline. Rather, now that moment in episode 8 just establishes BB and not the police commissioner working with her, I thought was an interesting dynamic.
Yeah.
So I was a little disappointed with that.
Maybe he's still alive.
Hilarious.
No, I like that scene too. No, that sucks. The fact that Sheila did that, I was like, frick you.
I know.
No way.
She's going to have a Nadim moment.
Yeah,
They're going to treat her like Nadim in season 2. She's going to die a hero's death or whatever after doing bad stuff, for sure. This is a problem I have. I'm sure you don't have. I didn't like the fight in Matt's apartment with Punisher and Daredevil. I just, it's really slow-mo. Almost every single shot in the fight is slow-mo. And even though it is really gory, and I think it's awesome about how gory it is, I did think it took away from the choreography because every single move, other than the opening where he throws the baton at the one guy, every single move is, oh,
I think every single move is a little bit of an exaggeration. They do it a little bit with Frank for sure, but there's a lot of baton bullcrap that Daredevil is doing that is not slow-mo. I know he does slow-mo when he does like the side flip as he's getting shot at, but other than that,
I really did, and maybe I'm being an a-hole or whatever, I really did feel in that scene that I was watching a Zack Snyder film. Like, it was so much slow-mo. I did. Now, maybe it's not the whole scene, and maybe I'm overdoing it. I'm sorry if I am, but it was so much slow-mo where I enjoyed the scene when they first popped in. I was like, great, they're going to destroy the apartment. He's going to have to go back to Hell's Kitchen. This is great. I love this. I love Frank. I like that Frank got the haircut when he said, somebody called me. We know it's Karen. Like, I'm like, oh, this is great. And then the fight starts.
The banter was so, like, Frank...
Yep.
John is so good.
Yep, he's so good. And so I'm just like, oh, they've lost me here just because it was so much with the slow-mo. And then my final complaint, which is a complaint that you kind of have, but kind of not, is it's just not a complaint for me because I feel like they have been doing this all season, is I've kind of all season been like, okay, you're setting up stuff that's interesting, and then we're either ignoring it for 6 episodes or not doing anything for 5 episodes, or you resolve after 2 episodes and the resolution, i.e. Muse, is not satisfying to anybody. And I feel like that was the Punisher fanboy squad resolution. We find out that, by the way, a big character from the comics, but, you know, just kill him right now, no problem, whatever. But that he's the one that killed Hector is interesting, and then you blow him up immediately, right? Like, you don't really do anything with it. It's just kind of like, okay. And then I think that him calling them clowns at the end is interesting, but then they don't kill him. And then that gets to a question I have after this finale, which I have a couple. Why is Kingpin keeping all these people alive in cages?
Not sure.
That's especially when we see Andrew later on. Is Andrew, what's the guy's name that Frank breaks his arm?
Oh, yeah. Snaps that thing.
Yeah, like, why are we keeping this very dangerous individual alive? This is going to end in disaster, as we see. So yeah, that was a question of mine. I hope that they give a good explanation, because they're literally killing people in the street and then putting beanies over their face and going
crazy
masked vigilante. So then these people are actual masked vigilantes. Why haven't you just killed them?
Yeah.
So I understand not killing Frank because they're fans of his, but everybody else.
Well, were the rest all vigilantes? I know swordsmen. Yeah, but I thought the rest were like more like political.
I thought so too. Definitely, there are some suits in there, but there's also probably some masked vigilantes in there. Maybe Jessica Jones is in there. I don't know, but yeah. What are some of your big positives from the finale? Yeah,
so the apartment fight was obviously a big positive. Karen coming back was a big positive. I liked the dialogue. Frank and Matt have had 2 conversations this season, and they have both been bangers. I liked, obviously, the one in episode 4. And then this one was really good. Like, Frank's just banter with Matt and kind of making fun of him. Are you going to do it with your butt hanging out? And then, you know, I'm not playing patty cake with these fanboys. Just so good. And then the little foreshadowing of Karen, then Karen coming back. I thought it was really cute that Matt was kind of jealous when he heard their heartbeats. And then I during my reaction, I had to, like, what did he say? She was like, oh, I'm sure it was just adrenaline. And then she's like, did you hear my heartbeat when I saw you? And he was like, I'm sure
adrenaline. Yeah. It was cute.
Writing was great. So cute. So I'm glad they're both back. And then obviously the Kingpin scene, insane.
Yeah.
And some of the positives are the cliffhangers. Like, they are setting up so much cool stuff. I just think there's too many, but some of them are positives. Like, it is really interesting. Like the Red Hook twist that it's a free port.
Like it.
And
I like that a lot.
The fact that Foggy, I was using that as a defense, and then that was going to expose them. And I'm glad they finally explained that, and we learned that because Karen and Matt worked together to figure it out. That's great. Good on y'all. So yeah, and then, you know, the Frank fight, I know he lost, but he did take out a lot of them before
Yeah, I've seen some people say he was nerfed from. He's got a couple big fights that what we've seen, especially in Punisher. That people are like, he takes on more guys than this and this and that. I don't care. These are armed police officers. He takes on like 20 of them and kills like 10 of them. Like, I'm fine with this.
They got riot shields and all this bullcrap. Yeah,
I wasn't bothered by that the way that I saw some people on Twitter being bothered by that. I'm with you on almost everything that you just said. Obviously, you do know my opinion where it's like, yeah, I thought the Karen stuff was great, and I love avocados at law and everything like that. It's just like, you know me. I'm just like, why couldn't this have just been the whole season? Because I like her a lot more than everybody else. So one of my highlights of the episode was Matt calling Heather Karen.
Dude, I lost it.
I loved that. But I have a question for you. Is that in character for Matt this season?
I think it's always in character for Matt.
Okay. I don't think so.
Especially after Heather's been a douchebag.
Absolutely.
Can we talk about how terrible Heather is?
Yep, she's becoming the worst and this and that, but he tells her he loves her. Like, she's his whole life and this and that. And
you can easily tell someone you love them and live with them and still have a soft spot in your heart for Karen.
Absolutely.
That doesn't bother me at all. But that's another character that I really liked what they did, because like I loved her for the first half of the season, and then they do a great job of like slowly, when she's not. There was one thing she said before the Muse thing where she started to be a little annoying, where she's like comparing Daredevil and Muse, and then she obviously does it where she's like, I saved myself, Daredevil's the same, and Matt's like, what the frick? And then to literally your boyfriend saves this guy's life, but then just says, you have to trust me, this guy is insane, he is not safe, and then your immediate reaction is to go work for him. Crazy, I hope you die. Crazy little development there. She went from the best to the worst. Oh, it was so good. I hate her. Obnoxious little she sucks.
I'm with you.
So I like that part of the finale too. When he asked her that, I was like, no, she's gonna freaking say yes. Crazy.
Very interesting. All right, that concludes our review of the finale episode. Obviously, we both have strong thoughts about Daredevil Born Again. Mm-hmm. Shall we do our reviews for the whole season right now? 3, 2, 1?
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
9.5.
I'm at a 7 for the entire season.
It seems a little low.
Obviously, I know you think the world of this show, and I'm not. I'm going to try my hardest to be very nice to you and very respectful to you, because it's very important for me for this podcast. But I do want to start on kind of a harsh note just to break us in real quick. Muse is cooked. Done whatsoever. How do you feel about that? Because I know that when they killed him, you were like, if they never do anything again with him, I am going to be disappointed. I did want to ask you, now that the season's concluded, they don't bring him up ever again. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so I have 3. So I could easily drop it to a 9. So most of this review is going to be based on just enjoyment, because there's always enjoyment based on versus objectively how well it was constructed.
Wicked is a lesser movie than Alien Romulus, but we both liked Wicked better.
Correct. So I'm gonna try and distinguish these two things when I'm talking about it. So enjoyment, it's a 9.5. I could easily bump it down to a 9 because of I have 3 bigger complaints with the season at large. So Muse is 1.
Absolutely.
And then the finale, blue balling the F out of us, is another one. Yeah. And then it is just somewhat disconjointed here and there. So those are my only 3 real negatives. So the Muse thing is annoying. I think he's great. I don't have a problem with him because he's not cool or interesting. The fact is, the problem is he is cool and interesting. We just don't get enough of him. Yeah. The one scene where he reveals his face and he's doing this and with the therapist, and a lot of fun. The fight scene with him, and it's all great. It just ends too early. So that is one of my negatives. I don't like that. He is a good mid-season villain to kind of bridge the gap between Bullseye at the start and Bullseye at the end. I think they do a good job kind of bringing that around, and you need something in the middle. I think Muse is good for that, but he's too good for that. You know what I mean? That's annoying. It's one of my negatives for sure.
For sure. And then the other negatives are blue balling and then the disconjointedness. I did want to talk about this. We know for a fact there was a show at Marvel or test screenings, didn't like it or something, and they brought in the people that made Loki and Loki season 2 and Moon Knight, and they made episode 1, episode 8 and episode 9. I believe episode 8 is clearly the best episode of the show. So I am pro that team who is now taking over for season 2. I'm excited about that. What is a moment from season 1 of Daredevil Born Again that stuck out to you the most of like, oh yeah, there are 2 different shows here? Because it is something that when I brought that up as a problem in the first 2 episodes after we went to the premiere, and you seemed a little bit defensive of that, but now you are bringing it up as a con. I do want to ask, what are
Bringing
moments...
what up as a con?
You brought up that it is a little disjointed at parts. I know that you're not talking about the first 2 episodes because obviously you loved the first 2 episodes. So what I'm saying is subsequent. Now what are events that happened in the show that made you go like, oh yeah, this is feeling a little disjointed? Because you did just bring it up as one of your 3 cons of the entire show.
Yeah, well, disjointed is different from it being a different show.
So you do disagree that it's a different show?
I think the way the showrunners described it was perfectly fair. From the ones that I've heard of. I think it's a continuation. It's not a season 4.
Yeah.
It's connected, but it's slightly different. I think all that's fine.
Yeah.
The disconjointedness of it is like, yeah, I mean, Karen disappears for a while. Bullseye disappears for a while.
Yeah.
So you can kind of... And this isn't necessarily like a bad thing. It's just... Because Andor does this. You get 3 episodes and 3 episodes and 3 episodes and 3 episodes. Obviously, it's told way better and you care about characters. But like... There are episodes where you don't get much of his mom, but she's still a great character. She's in the first few episodes and then she's at the end, whatever. So it's not necessarily a bad thing, but Karen disappears for a while. She only comes in right at the end, and you can definitely make the argument that they kind of like stuck her in those 2 episodes. And the Muse thing is one, and the amount of cliffhangers at the end is another, where if season 1 and 2 are kind of put together, maybe you don't have that many problems. It's kind of like TASM 2. I love TASM 2, but I feel like if they had taken one thing out and kind of spread the story out a little bit more and made it a little more smooth between TASM 2 and TASM 3, it would have been perfect. You know what I mean? So I don't think it's a terrible thing, but there are just like a few things where shows that I have watched before, like Andor, seem just smoother.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
But what I'm asking is, when I watch episode 5, and then I watch episode 1. Those, to me, are distinctly different TV shows that are cosplaying as one season of a television show.
Yeah, that makes 0 sense in my mind.
Interesting. But you do understand the fact that they were made at 2 completely separate times with 2 completely different teams of people.
Yeah, I know a lot
them.
of people will... what's the word? Pick up on things like that more than me.
Yeah.
I'm just watching it.
Yeah. No, I'm just asking.
Completely different shows cosplaying as the same is crazy, I think.
Well, I'm saying this as respectfully as possible. I don't want to upset you. But, like...
In my mind. I
understand, but like,
people...
like his behavior in the scenes with Kamala Khan's dad are completely different behavior than the scenes with the post-overhaul team, and like you could tell in the writing, like the things where he's like, Miss Marvel, our very own superhero, and he's like, oh, I haven't heard of her, and whatever. Like, it's just Matt's attitude and the way he acts in that scene is different from the way he acts in post-overhaul scenes, in my opinion, strongly. And that is the opinion of a lot of people, which is a fair opinion because they were made by 2 different people. It is kind of the sequels thing where it's Last Jedi and Force Awakens were made by 2 different people, so, you know.
Yeah, I don't think he does anything so out of character that I see one episode and another episode and I'm like, this is the same character.
It's not so out of the character. And again, episode 5 was my second favorite episode of the show. I loved episode 5. I didn't have a problem with it, but it is different. I'm not saying...
I mean, he's going to act differently than when he's talking to a bank teller than when he's talking to freaking Kingpin or Frank. Like, I don't... Yeah, I don't really...
Yeah, but why is he talking... All right, No, we don't have to get into that. That's not that interesting of a point. I did recently reach out to people part of the community. We're going to start with some Patreon answers for some of their thoughts on Daredevil Born Again. Some are going to be of the finale. Some are going to be of the final episode.
When we played Monopoly on the Patreon, we have an escape pod version of Monopoly.
Yep.
Someone commented on it recently, so it just popped up. But the caption I made was Monopoly, but make it sexy.
Yeah.
It's a good time.